much pain, so much suffering. This is for those who need a risk. You are not hidden. There's nothing that can hide. No one you feel it. You're not defenseless. I will be your shelter. I'll be your armor. I hear your whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter. I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. And I will send out an army to find you
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Dave Robinson, the father of Geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Again, another time, you guys. I having some issues with my internet. I literally coming on this morning, and here the internet provider said, "We're sorry for your outage. We'll be getting it back on quickly." So, if the internet goes out or the speed is going really slow, those are the reasons why. Again, I'm Dave Robinson, the father of Geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson, fighting for Daniel, fighting for justice. As you see the sign here, justice for Daniel. You guys, I try to make sure I got the right side. Justice for Daniel, and I'm really still fighting for justice for my son. And I will be talking about a few things. We will talk about the mail-in protest that we're still doing, also the Unity Candlelight Vigil. I really want you guys to be a part of that. I apologize, you guys. I've been swamped with a lot of things going on in life. Things simultaneously, family situations and everything. So I did not get those things out on the website. I'm trying to get it up there, try to get the Eventbrite so you guys can go through the event tab and have those informations there about the Candlelight Visual and how you guys can participate. I will be going to deep dive into that to tell you exactly how I would have things rolling, so you guys can be prepared for that and help get this Daniel's story out there as well as other families' story. Also, I will brush up you guys. You guys know that the Buckeye Police Department opened their report. They had the report open before, you guys. I had the initial report. I had a partial report. They also started a fourth report, a third report, and now they are doing a new report. And that new report is very extensive, you guys. And I will go through the breakdown of that eventually. I hadn't had time to read it entirely, but I can give you just the first couple things that stands out to me. It's very lengthy, you guys, so it's going to take time to go through that new report. It's the same thing, but it was spread it out really far to give it more content, and you guys can see the reasons why once I show it to you. But Nonetheless, there are also some new things that happen with the that's in the report. And those things I'm going to point out the reason why they happen and how you guys had helped from day one when I've been pushing this effort to go forward, pushing very hard out there, searching, out there advocating, doing the interviews. This case went nationally, putting a lot of pressure on law enforcement. Like I told you guys before, and I tell families all the time, if you do not push law enforcement, things will not happen, you guys. And I'm going to show you how the report reflects that. It reflects the movement of your movement, and as well as my efforts to get justice in Daniel's case. So we'll be deep diving into that a little bit, just a touch on. Like I said, I want to read the full report completely before I get everything, but I will give you tidbits of things that stands out to me. First glance at it stands out to me really, really strongly. Very disappointing to me, but I would definitely have to deep dive into that and try to get some answers, some clarifications on. But also, there's some good news, like I said, out of this report as well. So, uh, thank you guys for coming in, and I will see you guys on the next side.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. And as you guys know, I would not stop until I find them. So thank you guys again for coming in this morning. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Wanting you guys to, but first, like I said, tell you guys, like I say always, thank you so much for coming in. Also, bear in with me. We'll be having some technical difficulties. I know that will probably happen again today. Again, the internet provider is literally giving me signals that there's an outage in the area. So I know that will be probably affecting what's happening here. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and start and try to get this thing rolling. So, of course, you guys, as always, again, if you guys have any tips or anything towards knowing knowledge of what happened to my son, any information helps you guys. That's real information, direct information, information that will bring Daniel back to my family and get us the answers that we're needing. So, if you guys can see the number that's on the bottom screen, is 24 hours, 7 days a week. Live operators can take your call. 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can remain anonymous. You can also just text the word tip to that number if you just don't want to talk to anybody. You can still remain anonymous. So it's very crucial for those who, like I said, those who may have some information. So, and also, you guys, I'm working on a little bit of sleep, so I may be talking a little slower. But thank you guys again. Thank you guys again so much. Guys, I'm just looking at the numbers coming in, and you guys are really showing up this morning. So I really want to appreciate it. I want to start off before I go anywhere. I want to start off in the comment section to say good morning to some of you. Because this is, like I said, you guys, for a long road, it's going almost 2 years that Daniel's been missing, and you guys are still here. You guys are still supporting. You guys are still getting out information. You know what I'm saying? Helping with law enforcement. Like I said up front, you guys, I will be talking about those things later. It may not be fully talked about this morning. Like I said, I have a lot to put on, but I definitely will be talking about it this evening if you guys come back on the prime time. What I'm saying to you guys, your guys' efforts, and I will be pointing out the way that all your efforts, when I say your efforts, people say, hey, this is a father going out here fighting for his son. I am. But I cannot do this alone. If I didn't have you guys, none of this would have gone as far as it has. So I really appreciate you guys, your efforts. Like I said, if a family member or family do not push hard with law enforcement or anyone, things will not go forward. You guys will see what I will be presenting to you with this new report, for instance, and where you can see how things progress as you put pressure and you constantly moving things forward. So and that keep law enforcement busy, keep them on the case. Those things are not by accident. It's not by just say, hey, the law enforcement is really working very hard. Some do, and I really appreciate it. But in this case here, it's the efforts, you guys. It's the efforts, the desert searches, it's the flyer distribution, it's the reporters and journalists who's going out from different networks. Also, it's from you guys making phone calls to letter writing to you name it. It pushed things forward, and you'll see the reason why. You'll see those things reflected in this new report. As you guys know, I said up front, there are several reports. I have a partial report that's unredacted. I have a second report that's unredacted as well. They said it was a full report at the time when law enforcement was saying that they're pretty much done with the case. They told my investigator was investigating as well. Those things remains true, you guys. The report after that, you guys will release as well. That's a problematic report for me and my family because those things was partially unredacted. A lot of people in the public had got my personal information from that. My daughter's personal information. She ended up moving to a different city. But those things are haven't caused any problem just yet. So we're definitely grateful for that. But those, what I'm saying, those I have all of those reports, you guys. You compare the differences, and you'll see the differences and the changes. But you also will see, like I said, the last report that just been put out, the efforts that has went forward for the pressure and getting things moving forward. Because as you guys know, the greatest thing, I will put that out first, the greatest thing that happened in this whole entire thing is that we have new fresh eyes from the FBI looking into the case. You guys know I put a letter out before to Chief Hall asking for the FBI to come to Daniel's case. That was taken that they would do it because, of course, I CC'd a lot of people. Chief Hall said he would do it, and then they end up having the case briefing without me and told me that the FBI would not come in because you, Mr. Robinson, doing such a great job on your own. So that type deal. So anyway, the thing is, I'm saying I'm really grateful and really happy to hear that the FBI is looking into the case again. The other part is I know that comes from the hard work. We have many meetings, things I cannot put in the public, but I can announce as a report been released. I've released a lot of things. We are checking into the legalities of releasing recordings from the Buckeye Police Department, things that will raise questions about things they put in the report, but it definitely will put some answers, some questions that you guys may have about the validity of the report and things like that that happen in the timeline of the report. So we'll put all those things together. As you guys know, I keep a lot of things. So those things I've been putting together and try to present it to you guys, to the public. But this continue to be a fight, you guys, for Daniel. It's all about Daniel. It's not about, and I want you guys to be very clear, it's not about Daniel. Somehow, if he has some type of depression, he's been depressed. I'm depressed. I have a missing son, you guys. Some kind of depression, it warrants him not to be rescued. It's warrant him not to look. It's his fault that he's missing. That type deal. Nothing didn't happen to him. It's his fault because we have too much information that contradicts that, you guys. That says that some foul play happened. We did present that to law enforcement. They just don't want to do anything with it. Also, I will be pointing out the IQ. You guys, the Buckeye Police Department are very adamant about putting Daniel's vehicle there for 30 days. As you guys know, they've been on the ground in that exact spot on previous searches with the Maricopa County Sheriff, they say. They also did with the Civil Air Patrol in that same exact area, the same spot where the vehicle was eventually found. And also they did this area search in their area where the vehicle was found. The rancher has found the vehicle and been in that area, said it wasn't there 2 days prior. So those things still remain true, you guys, and it's contradictory to the IQ. And I'm going to show you the reasons why. There's a lot of questions. I'm going to share an email with you guys from the owner, the guy who created the IQ app. Also, I'm going to correct the timeline of that. I found it when the phone was returned to me, you guys. I'm going to show you how I was able to find the app, and I brought it to law enforcement. I brought it to the Buckeye Police Department and said, hey, I contacted this guy from IQ on the app, and I told him what they found, and I gave it to the Detective Biffin. But the story has changed somehow in that report, and they came up with some grids and spreadsheet that this owner says contradictory. So I would say that to you guys because those are the things I have to go deep dive into this report and see, because I know that this report was created, you guys, because a lot of press, and they pulled the report offline because you guys was pressing the law enforcement about the report, the inconsistencies and everything about it. And I'm sure they had used their city attorney to put a really creative storyline together. Even some things that attacked me as well. That's very personal. They attacked me. They have I call them fillers, you guys. Fillers for your guys' consumption, for you guys to throw out in the public to try to dismantle and disrail what I'm doing here. That is my efforts to fight for Daniel. So, but we're not gonna let that happen. We're not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna show you the reasons why. Again, now to go back to the main topic of things, you guys, because outside of the Buckeye Police Department report, there's something very important. My son has been missing. He's been missing for almost nearly 2 years. And that is the top of all of this. You know, the reasons why I came to Arizona, the reason why I'm fighting, the reason why you guys have been supporting. And we want to reflect that, and we don't want to lose focus of that. That's one of the biggest focus of this whole story is my son, Daniel. Daniel's a person who brings people together. As you guys know, I tell you that on multiple times. He's a person that brings people together. That's the reason why I call this Candlelight Vigil that's coming up Unity, Candlelight Vigil, Unity. It's a unity, guys, putting people together, bringing people together in one place, and that is Daniel. That's the kind of person he is. Even with the family, we have some issues. He bring us together. So I will be talking about that too. But I also want to say, guys, this is not the end. Just not look at this report and say, "Hey, Buckeye did such a great job." You guys, I'm telling you the reason why it looks so colorful, and it will appear that way. But what I'm gonna say is very colorful and very well written. I'm sure that Detective Bifford didn't write it. I'm sure it was more of their city attorney writing those things for them. They have a whole team of people that can write things very creatively to your consumption. But the thing is, I'm saying, you guys, this is not a stop for justice for Daniel. I'm still asking for my son, the case, be moved out of the Buckeye Police Department. I did hear now that the FBI is looking to the case. So some things you'll see on this chart that I'm going to show you guys is going to change. Of course, things going to change, but I will start again. Put this up on the screen. Some things will change, and I will point those out as I'm going through. The mail-in protest, you guys have been doing it for a couple weeks, several weeks now, and it's been working. You guys have been getting feedback from people, and I do notice. I'm telling you something, guys. This is to deter you guys as well, because of the influxes. Basically, what the letter says, because of the influxes and things that that people are asking for, the Buckeye Police Department literally are charging over a grand just for the videos and pictures and things they hope that you guys will get. But I'm getting those things, and those things that I will be able to get from the law enforcement. So I'm not asking anybody to pay for those things, you guys, because I did talk to a family on Twitter who brought that to my attention. So I'm asking you guys not to have to pay for those things. Like I told you guys before, one of the biggest things is the numbers. So when they have people, the numbers that's going into this offices, that's the kind of response you get. That's the kind of reaction you get, guys. That let me know that it's actually working. They're upcharging things, and they're trying to find ways to wiggle around and things like that. So that's the way I needed to go, you guys. That make them feel very uncomfortable, keep them very uncomfortable, keeping them on their toes. And we're going to get Daniel's case moved into the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. I have no doubt. That's what I'm going to be pushing for. I'm going to continue to push for, and I need you guys' support to do that. What we want jurisdictional change, a change in jurisdictional. We want a criminal investigation. Guys, they're doing so much, and they're trying to prove to y'all we're doing so much. If you guys saying they going out and I just heard them say they went out and got a warrant or something, they got some type of. If you can't be double talking, you can't say, hey, I can get this warrant or I can go get this and I don't have a criminal case. When you say, well, why you can't get the cell phone ping? Because it's not a criminal case. So you can't be contradictory and say that's what law enforcement been doing so far is keep swapping and swapping and swapping. And I'm saying I had to go. It's a lot. I told my team, you guys, they of course I have to go through legal actions also as well. So things I won't be able to share with the public, but we got to go through some legal channels to dissect what the Buckeye Police Department put out in the public. So you guys, it's a lot. There's a lot to go through that one man, myself, David Robinson, cannot do alone. So I will be working on that. But we definitely, like I said, again, need to change the jurisdiction as well as a criminal investigation. I am pleased to have the last part of it checked off, the FBI involvement. Those things are happening. I also have meetings, like I said, with the Justice Department, been pushing things in the background. As you guys know in the report, it appears that the Buckeye Police Department went to the Tempe Police Department and had those forensics done on electronics. You guys heard me saying this on Q&A for months. That's not the exact way things happened. The way it happened was my team and I met with the mayor of Tempe, also Chief Glover and Chief Anderson of Tempe, and I was able to convince the Tempe Police Department to do forensics on my son's things, all his electronics, guys, as a favor, as they would like to say, the Tempe Police Department. Mr. Robinson, we're doing this as a favor for you. I did expound on them because I do not trust the Buckeye Police Department. I asked them, please do not share those things with me. So I can say that. But the Tempe Police Department say, hey, well, they have a case open and we have to share those things with the Buckeye Police Department. So they did. So I'm pleased that they did that as well. They did things the way they should do. But I can tell you those efforts came from my team and I pushing, guys. I mean, we're doing a lot of interviews, doing a lot of work in the background. I even sat and had lunch with the gentleman from the Justice Department as well. So those things are actually working. We have some channels also working for different angles in government. that's also been raining down on the Buckeye Police Department. So you guys see all this movement. I'm going to show you the reason why. There's a lot of movement, but it's the same thing that is kind of spread it out. Instead of having a few officers, they kind of, for instance, spread it out with a bunch of officers writing some things. So you guys, but it's all the same. It's all the same, but it looks big. It looks big. It's a big page, you guys. Some things are new in there as well that I will be talking about, but also the FBI involvement is there. Justice for Daniel, that's what we're looking for. How you guys can help, you can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and you can download those PDFs. They're still there, you guys. We'll be adding on the Unity Candlelight Vigil. I'm just waiting on some other parts that you guys can hear on the event side of things. But those letters, they're going to be there, the letters there, as well as the mail stuff, I call them, because this pick a thing. After I get finished this Unity Candlelight Vigil, we will be doing protesting. I will have my son case moved over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, you guys, and I'm going to keep pushing for that because I'm still holding on forensics. We're not going to allow the law enforcement to feel that it's okay not to do forensics on the airbags or that vehicle, for instance. Also, the other airbags, if you see anybody's in the passenger side, could have been holding a gun on my son. You don't know. So we want to also get forensics done on the clothing that I have that was found on the scene that we don't recognize as a family. I haven't looked at it only through pictures, but we do not recognize it as a family. And also, so we want to make sure those are Daniel's belongings. That wasn't staged as Mr. McGrath had pointed out, you guys. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Again, I'm gonna point out those reasons why that this MALIQ do not answer the question to where this vehicle was. The vehicle wasn't there, you guys. And I'm gonna tell you what a reason why I'm questioning what Buckeye put out into the report, basic things on the MALIQ app. And I would point that out to you guys. Also, mail-in protests this weekly. Like I said, you guys, we're gonna continue to do that. Lastly, I want to put out that, let's see here. I got one more thing. I'm going to skip over really quickly, guys, and it's not going to be super fast. No justice, no peace means that without justice, there will be no peace, you guys. There'll be no peace without means that there'll be no peace without justice. My son Daniel is missing nearly 2 years in this case. I'm going through this really quickly, guys. You know, I do this all the time. My experience for searching for my son, I had to put on my investigative hat, my search hat, and I have been advocating not only for my son, but for many others. I feel that law enforcement has failed my family and me. You guys, justice creates anger, it creates frustration and a sense of powerlessness. It can lead to social unrest, protests. Let's work together to justice. Because law enforcement was slow to initially act in Daniel's case, Daniel remained missing. Now, I can tell you guys the report will reflect as if they did a lot at the beginning. No, I'm going to point out those reasons as well. And I would not have been here in Arizona if I wouldn't have been in Arizona quickly as well as the way I did if they would have did that initial search that I asked for that night. Those trickeries, I'm telling you guys in this report, it'd be a lot of trickeries. Oh, this officer, I literally have calls with these Officer Cruz, who says him and another officer. So I don't know where these other extra officers come from. Him and another officer that night was riding up down Sun Valley Parkway. That's the first time I heard of Sun Valley Parkway through Officer Cruz. He said to see if Daniel was stuck on the side of the road. There was no mention of going to the desert. To later, when I realized that Daniel was missing the desert, I talked to Officer Cruz, and you guys will see about that eventually. Talked to Officer Cruz, and he said that they cannot go into the desert because it's night. They cannot do the search with the helicopter search because it was night. But they will have a helicopter search the next day, which end up becoming denied. Those are the reasons. I'm saying those are the key things I'm pointing out. You guys, is not going to change. You cannot change. You can wiggle around. They can write whatever they want to write. You cannot wiggle around the facts. There was nothing done initially that would have saved my son's life. I have no doubt about that. And there was no more than 2 years in searching for Daniel. Had they went out there, there would have been no problem 2 years in if the Tempe Police Department at the time would have really done an effective welfare check. Looking through windows and things like that with a missing car and the family asking does not make sense, and things under suspicious circumstances that do not work. So those things are remain true. So everything I'm saying, you guys, from day one remains true, and I will be pointing those things out as well. And the reason why Daniel case need to be moving forward. We need new fresh eyes, and like I said again, I'm really proud that here that FBI is looking into. That's fresh eyes, you guys, but also need a fresh department to be also handling my son's case. Um, because law enforcement was solely initially at Daniel remains missing. Because law enforcement refusal to take physical evidence of foul play I gave them, Daniel's justice had been hampered. They did more, you guys, in my opinion, with this report. They did more of trying to prove that Daniel had some type of depression than they did finding out what happened to Daniel. Because if you guys listen to what happened in this report, it go through all that drama to lead to a dead end. You see a lot of interviews. Oh, I talked to this person. I talked to this person. I talked to a lot of people too, you guys. Oh, that's what you're gonna see. It seemed like a lot of work. If I put it on paper, you guys say, "Well, damn, Mr. Robinson did a lot of work." Yeah, you can put it on paper, who you interview, who you talk to, and things like that. So you guys, if I can get those things put on paper as well in a list, you guys will say the same thing. What I'm saying is, God is remaining to a dead end. It didn't push the needle forward. So this one said because law enforcement refused to take the physical evidence that we have, instead of fighting it, you guys, they went through hoops and strains to try to fight the evidence that Mr. McGrath and I gave to them about this car, about this vehicle, that physical evidence. And also Daniel's justice has been hampered. Also, you guys, I have a solution to this problem. I have demanded that the Buckeye Police Department release my son's case into outside agent that will bring results. I don't need to find out my son's vehicles is in a ditch somewhere with negative information. Since my son went missing, the Buckeye Police Department has not found anything to bring us closer to answers. The only thing they found, they using the Mal IQ and say, "Oh, we found that the vehicle was there at 10 o'clock somewhere." And I'm going to show you again today, reason why I'm questioning all of that. That's the only new thing they're saying. They're bringing us close. They're bringing us that, oh, his vehicle. I told you guys. I'm not fair. Let me give, I think, at this point, you guys, to be honest with you guys, I think we should give the Buckeye Police Department a clap, a hand, you guys. Thank them for pointing out that they feel like they managed to prove that his vehicle was there for 30 days. So let's give them applause, you guys. Come on, let's give them applause and thank you guys for trying to work really hard to prove that Daniel's vehicle is out there, you guys, for 30 days. Working really hard. They're trying to fight against hard evidence, you guys. So we're going to give them a clap and thank you, Buckeye, for all your hard work of trying to prove that and not find Daniel. So thank you, crowd. I really appreciate it, guys. So that's the type thing right there. I'm going to point those things out to you guys where those things are not true. That 30 days do not remain for me. That vehicle wasn't there for 30 days, you guys, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why. I do believe the report. I do believe the report of the vehicle itself. You can put those mileage and this and that. Oh, I drove this. I wish they would have drove the route that that Ken told them about driving. They'll see the impossibilities of his story. Why don't they do that? They're very adamant. Like I said, for certain little detail, they're very adamant. Leave things in, leave things out in their report, and I'll be pointing those out as well. So it's gonna take some time, you guys. I'll be talking about this for a long time, but I don't want this whole unity part of Daniel life to be mushed by the Buckeye Police Department. I do want to make sure my son's getting the justice, getting the things moved out from the Buckeye Police Department, but I also want to keep focused that my son Daniel is indeed missing. That's the biggest point, you guys. So I just want to make sure I'm doing that. I know it's been a little facetious right now, funny, but I'm telling you guys, those are the things that's very problematic. All right, and so since my son was missing, the Buckeye Police Department has not found us anything to bring us closer to answers. This is bringing more questions. They do not have available cell phone pings. You guys, they say they have this Mile IQ app, and I'm telling you, I don't want to present that to them. I was wondering why they didn't see it when they had the phone, but I had to bring it to the detective, and I got those proofs as well. Camera footages, nor do they have the location that the Uconnect of Daniel's Jeep. And, and I'm telling you guys, I said this before, and I was on here with Larnell. They utilize everything I have given to them, of course. Yes, they put in a report as they own. I get it, and they kind of twist those things around word-wise. They have no mention of me, my efforts of giving them information and things like that. But I will show it to you guys. The Mal IQ app that the Buckeye Police Department did not have, I pointed out to them. I have the email that I'm going to show you guys today. Email exchange. Also, everything that can help and finding Daniel seems conveniently blocked by the Buckeye Police Department. Now they are blocking other agencies to that may be able to help. And I think you guys, they have no choice to let the FBI involved, because I told you, we guys have built some back channels. My team and I built some back channels that I'm sure we're doing some things. They say they get back with me. I'm sure they're back in the background asking a lot of questions and a lot of things. Why this, why that, blah, 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 and put a lot of pressure, as well as your the campaign that we have here, sending in those letters, those phone calls, and things like that, caused the Buckeye Police Department to act the way they are acting now. Also, what we can do, you guys, we can peacefully protest in two forms. We can I created the mail-in protest to get targeted departments' attention and action. And that is, I'm telling you, it's been working, you guys. Doing things like this has been working from day one, pointing those things out. Next, we will protest at their departments. I need you to join us and invite families and friends. This is a grassroots effort. There's power in the people, and I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to show you how much power you guys have. Again, like I said, it's gonna take some time, you guys, but you keep following me on the channel and also on the social media. I'll be sharing things. I'm going to show you in details, you guys, how the efforts you guys have been doing and working alongside with me caused law enforcement to do certain things they have done. Because there would have been no action. I'm telling you guys, if I would have initially took off and they said, hey, we have no leads to follow, and told my investigator no more, and they gave me everything and evidence badge mark for safekeeping, gave me the vehicle. Tell me if I didn't get it out there, they're gonna have a total wait. And I'm telling you, God is good, because I asked for 3 days. In that 3 days, I had that meeting that caused the chain reaction. When I asked them to do the swabbing of that vehicle, I asked them to do fingerprinting. Actually, they dusted it here now. Yeah, they did the fingerprinting, but they also swabbed the steering wheel shifter, like I told you. But let's go further than that. They need the airbags, red transfer paint, clothing, all that stuff need to be done. You just don't stop at a point and just put it in your locker until 2022, last year, when they asking me for a toothbrush or a razor so they can try to match something with the swab. You wait a whole year and then start looking into match the swab, and that lets you know the urgency and how they really care. First of all, I had to ask for it, and then you sat on it until I guess somebody pressure you into say, hey, why you ain't got what's the results of this fingerprint? And I'm sure somebody in the back channel that we're working with, what's the results of this fingerprint? And they say, oh, we're going to call Mr. Robinson and ask him for it that time. Those causes movement. I'm telling you guys, if you guys can stick in here with me, we will get justice for Daniel. This will be one of those cases, you guys, where we will get the justice for Daniel. I'm just asking you guys to follow on. Sometimes I told you guys before, and I want to explain this to you guys. I'm going to explain this to you something. I'm going to stop right here, explain to you something that was told to me when I was in military. I first got in the military. I was in basic training. You guys heard me say this before. I had a drill sergeant Hammond. She used to, I used to be frustrated, and I used to feel this, I don't want to say anger, but it was more of I was very frustrated because I didn't understand. To me, it was stupid stuff that we were doing. And she's always whispering in my ear, Robinson, it's a method to the madness. I never forget it. She always get close to my ear. It's a method to the madness, a method to the madness. I never gotten it, because I remember things simple as, like I said before, we would walk in the chow hall, and they make you get 2 drinks. You can't, you put your tray down, you have to go back around, and you have to get your drinks, but you had to carry it to your chest like this, you guys. You had to hold both of them against your chest like this and tightly together and walk like that to your table and put it down, right? And later found out the method to that is to teach you how to hold grenades, you guys. That's the way you hold grenades to your chest, so you don't pull, when you pull a pin, you don't, if you pull a pin and you're holding a grenade, your hands don't bounce, and you kind of let go the timer, and you blow yourself up. So those are methods to that. Some other methods I will not describe, but there's a lot of things that was done in the military, but that was method, and it makes sense at the time. But like I'm saying, you guys, the mail-in protest, the advocating, this everything you guys, I'm asking you guys doing, and when you guys join in with me, there's a method to this madness, and it actually worked. You guys doing things like this with my team and I working things in the background. These methods have actually worked. So don't think that things were done by the Buckeye Police Department because they just out of their freeness of their mind say, oh, I'm going to go do this now. No, that was pressure, you guys. It was pressure from you guys. And I really appreciate each and every last one of you for constantly being a grassroots family. I call you guys my extended family. I tell you how much I love you all the time. I try to make sure I express that to everybody who listens in on everything I do. Thank you guys for have been donating. You guys, I even saw something report I'll tell you, these are fillers, you guys, fillers to try to create chaos too. It's a war. They're throwing back at me or whatever. The thing is, you guys, it's unnecessary things that was put in the report, very unnecessary. and they put those things in there to call chaos for you guys. Hey, why do he need funding to stay in Arizona? Because I need to fight for myself. I need to fight you, Buckeye. I need to fight you, and I need to fight everybody who's not doing the job that they should be doing. I need to be there on the ground. I cannot be in South Carolina where you're comfortable and you can actually do nothing. I call you on the phone and say, hey, what y'all doing? And he got his leg back on the chair and say, oh, we out here right now searching for your son. I don't know. I can't see it. So I'm telling you guys, I truly appreciate you guys for all the funding, all the help you guys have been doing for day one to keep me in Arizona, to allow me to hire a private investigator, to allow me to give the equipment. I saw some things as well from the private investigator. I'm really, really ashamed of. There's a lot of things I have to dissect, you guys. I'm telling you something. I have to pay for equipment for my team of investigators to be out there in that desert. I also had to pay for my own equipment to be out there in the desert. Also, sometimes with the guys that was working alongside me. So it was very costly out there in that desert, you guys. And you guys have definitely helped me do that. Also, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for the thousands that helped me pay for thousands. $500 a box, you guys. Sometimes $1,000 to $2,000 a week, just in flyers that going out every week, you guys, going out across this country, everywhere. So I'm telling you something, you guys. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you for believing in everything I've been doing. I'm a father. I'm not an expert. I'm just a father trying to do the best I can, and that is to fight for my son. Anything, any father, any good father would do. Do anything for your child. Do anything. I told you guys many times I was in Arizona, many times before. My team, I'm sure I have some natives of Arizona. They hear me all the time, man, I don't want to be in Arizona. Arizona's not a place. They tried to get me in Arizona really bad, you guys, before he went missing. I refute that a lot. I did agree to come there in July, which unfortunately, when that vehicle showed up, but that was a plan to come. I do not want to get dry. I like to be around water, you guys. If I had my way, I haven't been in ocean water with ocean water since before COVID, you guys. I'm not that kind of guy. Every year I make a point to be at the beach, you guys, in Florida. I'm a Florida guy. Be at the beach in Florida, put my foot in the water, let's smell that salt. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a water guy. So Arizona do not have enough water for me. So it's never been some vacation for me, never been a fun trip. It's been the thing that I have sacrificed and done for my son, and I've been doing it from day one since I started my fight for Daniel, and I'm continuing to do so. And I'm not gonna let nobody in any kind of naysayers and all this kind of drama, centralized whatever Buckeye Police Department trying to do to the case with this woman's stories and my efforts to find Daniel. It's not going to be a deterrent, you guys. I'm going to continue to fight. It's not going to be a deterrent to everything I'm doing for Daniel. Again, I would point, and I apologize again. I keep seeing my internet on my side blinking on and off. So hopefully I will be keeping some type of bandwidth and keep going. Hold on a second, you guys. I want to make sure my phone went out as well. I want to make sure I can see what you guys are seeing. That way I can know if I'm actually putting out. I'm actually producing. So, but definitely, guys, I'm going to continue to fight. Also, to go into the next section, I want to say thank you guys for being a part of this Unity Candlelight Vigil. And I want to explain that to you again, you guys. This is going to be happening on the 23rd of this month. It's coming really fast. I really want to promote it a lot better than I am. We've been promoting all the other events that we've been having a lot better. This time, I'm having a little difficulty because I have a lot of, and I can be honest with you, you guys are my family as well, but in my immediate family, I have a lot of family issues that I definitely can't put in the public, but I have family issues that have been taken care of for the last few weeks. It's been hard. It's very hard, you guys, trying to juggle things simultaneously and still function. So what's happening is, guys, I keep telling you, hey, I want to put this information on the website. I want to get it produced out there a little better for you guys so you can see it. And I haven't really gotten to that point of getting it on the website. And I'm going to try again today. I'll get time. I say I will, but at the same time, as I was talking to you guys, I seen some reporters coming up and asking for interviews. So those are crucial for me to keep Daniel case out there. So yes, I'm accepting interviews. I've been on News Nation last night. I will share that on my social media, and I will share it here on this channel. But yeah, I was on News Nation talking about the Buckeye Police Department new report as well. But you guys can go check that out. But I also been doing some interviews with some other networks and things like that that are reaching out to me now as I'm speaking. So I will be doing those because I want to make sure Daniel's story stays out there. That's very important. That's very important, you guys, because that's bringing new people, and those new people can share and finally reach something that I was unable to do and Buckeye was unable to do. Reach that person or persons who may know something, you know, reach that person that may say something. So that's the name of the game. You know, I haven't saying I've done, but I can tell you my efforts have brought the answers about that vehicle and things like that. So again, Unity Candlelight Vigil, guys, that will be going on the 23rd. And the way this works, you guys, if you guys can join in with this, the way it works is, guys, you guys will be doing it virtually. Like I said, on the 23rd, I'll be dealing with a lot of family matters as well, as I cannot do something that's like I did before. The Candlelight Vigil I did in Phoenix, I will not be able to do that this time. It's very hurtful, but I will not be able to do a actual in-person Candlelight Vigil. So what I came up with is the Candlelight Vigil this way, you guys. Even last time, a lot of people want to participate into it. And I thought the birthday hike for Daniel was very successful, you guys. And I want to kind of, mirror that again in a certain aspect. That is to have you guys light your candles at home and, and bring it light and share and join in. Because I will be on this channel, you guys, as live. I'm doing several lives that day. To at least 2 or 3 lives that day to accomplish people who may live in the East Coast and those who live out west, Midwest, and things like that. Different time zones. We have some one lady who comes she's here this morning, I'm sure, from England. So just want to make sure we're accommodating everybody. But and the reason why, you guys, and I'm asking you guys to please just invite everybody to light this candle and definitely join me on my live whenever you can and however you can, because what's happening is I'm trying my best to highlight other family cases as well. And I want to, the reason why I need all of that, you guys have a missing loved one and you want to be a part of this Unity Candlelight Vigil, because it's a unity, it's for us, you guys. Daniel bring people together. I want to bring you guys together too. So if you have a missing loved one, I want you to contact me. Seriously, people, contact me, because what's happening is when people come in and they're lighting this candle and they're looking at this live, they can share your loved one's story too. That's the name of the game, you guys. If you got a missing loved one, you have to have communication. I was talking to someone the other day, one of the producers at News Nation was asking me steps that I was doing. I was like, look, when Daniel first went missing, the first thing I have done, one of the biggest thing I have done is because of communication I learned in the military. I started the pleasehelpfinddaniel.com website. Put his picture up. It didn't have much on it. Put his picture up, get on social media, come to the website, learn information about what happened to my son, everything I knew at the time, and update it. And that gives people something to read. It gives people something to look at and get them to see the pictures and to bring humanity to your loved one, to show them who they are. Those things are key to get people involved. You got to start mobilizing people to your case. So what I want to do with this Unity Candlelight Vigil is not all about me and my family. It's also about helping other families. So I want to make sure, you guys, that we're highlighting other cases as well. I hope I can help, for instance, Miss Nunez, for her daughter, Jessica, to also be highlighted on this Unity Candlelight Vigil. I will be reaching out to her to see if she don't mind also highlighting her story on this Unity Candlelight Vigil. So we'll be focusing on that. We're not going to be focused on Buckeye's report. We're not going to be focusing on other things. We will be focused on families, because this is Unity thing. We're going to be focused on that, how we can help, how we can share the loved one's story, how we can remember these people. That's over 1,400 people go missing daily in this country. How can we remember that? How can we remember that people go missing, and how we can help? We'll be talking about those things. So showing your love, guys, showing your unity. We'll be lighting a candle, taking a video of it. The hashtag will be Unity Candlelight Vigil, and you guys put that on your Facebook pages, your all your social media network. If you guys can start now, those are the hashtags that we'll be building up, so we can do like we did on the Height for Daniel. Put your videos and pictures up and things like that to show unity into this cause. Because I'm saying this is a grassroots movement, you guys. I cannot do it without you, and I want to tell you thank you again. So now I'm going to the other part of this, you guys, and I'm gonna try to get off. Like I said, I'm really literally working off of at least about probably 1 hour of sleep, you guys. So I'm literally working on that. And some people, man, how you functioning? Yes, sometimes days get like that, you guys. I have to do so much. So try to get it in when you can. Get it in when you can get it in. So, but I'm functioning. I thank God for that. But I'm telling you guys, I want to get into this one part and I want to see how I want to start it off. I definitely want to say, you know, with a share, I'm going to share a screen first. I think that'd probably be the best route to go. And I'm going to, and I have to double check my screens because I can tell you guys that the first report that the Buckeye Police Department put out, they was unredacted, you guys, and that was very problematic to me and my family, putting out personal information out there, you know, unredacted. And so I'm trying to be careful not to put out the unredacted again to you guys. Much as I love you guys and I want you to see everything that I get to see, I don't want to expose other people's information as well. But I do can tell you, and I just want to kind of put these 3 reports up to kind of show you the differences in the new report and as well as the old reports that the Buckeye Police Department have. And just point out some little small things, and then we're gonna go into this Mile IQ thing that's very crucial to this timeline and to what they're utilizing to say the vehicle's there for 30 days, right? Okay, so first I want to go on this first screen here. Let's see if I can get this up, you guys. Again, if the internet is going out, you guys, I apologize. Let me go ahead and make sure that's happening too. You guys are actually seeing. My phone would die on me, and I have to. So I just pull up YouTube, guys, so I can watch it on my phone to see how the feed is going. So that's why you guys hear me moving around here. Let's see here. Pull it up real quick. All right. Okay, hopefully you guys can have no problems. I will be checking the chats, and I did want to go chat, say thank you to everybody. I apologize, stopped on and I didn't do it. But yes, I think I am doing okay. Yes, here we go. Start the screen with you guys and show you the first. This is the new report from the Buckeye Police Department, when they just put out. So the reason why I'm showing this one first is because I'm showing this one first because it's redacted, right? It's redacted, and unlike the other 2, they're not redacted. Well, one is, and the other one, the one is partially redacted, and the other one is partially unredacted, and the other one is fully unredacted. And so I wanted to skip this first part, kind of show you the first part. All 3 of them are pretty much the same on here, but some things a little different on that first page, and I wish I could show you those things. But anyway, so this stuff is redacted here. They had the fences, the circumstances, desert, undeveloped area. That wasn't there before, on the this is new report stuff. That's not on old report. Body camera footages, video stuff that wasn't on the old report, which that's good. They have that video footage. I've been asking for that, guys, for a while. So I will be getting all that stuff and then dissecting that too eventually. Also, and I will be paying you. The guys charging y'all $1,000. I will be getting those footages, right? So I'm not asking anybody to pay $1,000 for footages, you guys. That's freedom of information stuff. So unless you guys want to pay them for that kind of stuff, I'm not asking you guys for that. Also, let's see what I got here. They have the officers here. These are the 3 responding officers. I did talk to Officer Cruz, but there was also another officer that I didn't see on here. It was Haley, you guys. He some reason he escaped the report, but he's the one who talked also about this young lady. He was real adamant and telling me some things as well about how he's. It kind of made me sound like my son was doing something criminal or something, and I was at the time, and I can tell you guys as a father who have daughters as well. I was like this. I'm telling you things they can take and twist what you say, you guys. But I was more on the side of, look, I know my son, he's not the type, in my opinion, to do those things, but there was always a but there. If he did do something like that, no man would be terrorizing a young lady, right? Whether he's my son or not. That's how I feel as a father, and how I feel as a man of who have daughters as well. So, so those things was of things I mentioned to this other officer, and those things not in the report, but those things I mentioned to this other officer that is missing in this equation. Sometimes I wonder who he is, who he was, I was talking to, and why. Also, you guys, you come down here. There's a lot of stuff put here, and they put a lot of. You guys already know. They said they spoke to a lot of these individuals that was part of the initial stuff. Now I can't say things like they all lined up here. The people they spoke with, right? And a couple people out in my searches to that's part of the search and things like that. So it's a whole bunch of people. So it looks big because they list it all out, and so that they take up another page. You guys, what I'm saying is I'm showing you guys that it's gonna be big. It's gonna be bigger than it was, right? Because they added a lot of people and they spread it out, and it seemed like, wow, that's a lot. It's the same thing that's been going on. The same thing I see, and I'll show you from the old report. Things for the Instacart, for instance, the things from the CAD. They're doing a lot of CAD calls. There's a communication between them, law enforcement officers, right? And they just put things there. Oh, we went here, we went there, we did this, we went down the street, we made a left turn on the day. And they all say, well, this one all say I went down the street on Main Street, and there's a junction there of D Street. And the other officer said, yeah, I went down D Street. So those are two things. So they say, oh man, they searched this street and they searched there, but it all was the same thing. It's always the same place, same time. And but it was spread it out to appear bigger, right? That's what I'm saying, you guys. When you kind of approach this report, I kind of look at certain little things that stands out to me. Also, you guys, and I'm not really here to try to terrorize and tear up, try to discredit them and say, I say it like this: they did police work, they should do police work, right? So, what I'm saying is the work they have done has not brought any answers to my son, what happened to my son, and also have not been urgency there to find my son, and that's the reason why he's missing, things like that. So I'm pointing those things out. Digital forensic Tempe, you guys, you probably can see it right here. Evidence. This probably when they received that this year. I can't tell you. My team and I had got it before April the 18th, 23. This is after they received this from Tempe, after Tempe gave this information to me. I have the report back. Now, I can't tell you Tempe has somehow, and we will talk about that later, have somehow added some things to that they haven't put in their report. They told us that was the full thing, but we question that some other time. But I can go back and expound on this again, you guys. Is because my team and I sat down in the office at Tempe Police Department. We started off with the mayor at the city hall, you guys, in Tempe, and we had a meeting with the mayor of Tempe, Mayor Woods, as well as the two chiefs, Anderson and Chief Glover at the time, the Glover who now is at DPS. We had a meeting that we had. I expounded them reasons why I needed Daniel's all his electronics forensically done, taken care of, and I had some lighter forensic look into Daniel's phone, but I need everything, his home computer and things. Make a long story, Tempe Apartment agreed. They said they were going to do it as a favor for me. We made arrangements for me to bring those things down to the Tempe Police Department. Made arrangements because I told them at one time, yes, and it's true. You're gonna see something in the report that the Buckeye Police Department asking me for the computer, but they try to put it as if they doing such a great job and I'm hindering their investigation. No, those things are something when Tempe could have gotten. I mean, Buckeye could have gotten way back when Daniel went missing. You guys, I'm telling you guys, you got to look at what Buckeye is doing, what they're doing. They're really on defense mode. What's happening is, why would you ask for my son's things after ask for his electronics, you guys? Something that I've been begging the public about, you guys. I've been asking you guys for funding to try to get forensics done. This stuff happened. We had my investigator got into the department was there before the vehicle showed up, you guys. I'm saying If they wanted to find out what happened to my son, they would have went to his apartment a long time ago. After the vehicle showed up, you guys, they instead of accepting hard physical, they tried everything. They hired a private investigator, tried everything they can to rebut this finding from my investigator, right? Rebut it. They're so busy trying to keep this vehicle in that ravine. It was very damaging, telling me things like your son may join a monastery and become. You think I'm going to trust a department like that? You guys, with my son, they gave me everything in my hand and for safekeeping, and tell me if I didn't get this thing out there, have a total away and not pay storage fees. You think you would, if a family member would give them anything that treat you that way and say these things to you, right? No, I do not trust them. I do not trust the Buckeye Police Department. No, I would not. And I'll ask myself the question: why now? Why you want my son's things now when you could have gotten it when his apartment was there, right? Don't wait till after his apartment's been dismantled and everything, and then say, "Oh, I want to get his electronics." What you want it for now? You're not investigating. You gave me everything. I have all the physical evidence. What you need it for, right? And so those are the things that the reason why I had my decision on why I told my investigator I'm not giving him. Well, actually, Mr. McGrath, I can't tell you that as well. I saw in the report he was it suggested as well. He and I had a discussion, and he suggested as well we should not have given those things over because he didn't trust Buckeye. Those things that we had conversations wise. But definitely we wanted to go definitely directly to the FBI at the time. That's what we was looking for. Get his things over to the FBI because we had suspicions about things about that Dane's computers. So to make a long story, I was able to trust the Tempe Police Department and wanted to get a different department to look into it. That's the reason why I facilitated a meeting with the mayor, and I want to make sure the mayor there is as a witness. The mayor, he looked kind of, he's a businessman. I give him credit. Very, very good mayor, very attentive, and definitely he was there every time I have a meeting where he's ready to do it and listen and things like that. But he was there. I had him there as a character witness. Hey, look, I'm talking to your chiefs, and I want you there just to hear. He didn't have much to say. He was there just to be an ear. And so I was able to get that done. You guys get those forensics done by the Tempe Police Department, who shared those things to the Buckeye Police Department. And according to their report, they was shared to them on April the 18th of this year, you guys. And so that's when I'm sure they received those digital forensics that they already had, the copies that I already had, right? So from what they found, and those information that I received that you guys don't even see in the report to see, this is the kind of stuff that bothers me also, and the reason why I want my son's case moved out of the Buckeye Police Department. They're very selective for what they want to investigate, and they don't. My son, my investigator McGrath, went into Dane's apartment, said he did his own investigation because Buckeye Police Department didn't do it. Tippy didn't do it at the time. And he went in to look into Dane's apartment, take a lot of pictures, do his forensic thing he said he was doing, and told me and my family. So after he came back with a report, he told me, hey, he showed me the pictures, something that Detective Biffin showed me one time when he went in, when we together on the phone convinced the landlords to allow them in to take just pictures of Daniel's apartment. They couldn't touch anything. My investigator went in there, you guys, and he took pictures. He showed me those pictures, and I said, hey, I've seen this kind of pictures before because Detective Biff showed me Daniel's room, and it was really a mess, right? Really a mess. And as a parent, I was in parent mode with Detective Biffin. Like, oh, yeah. He said, hey, he's a messy kid. I'm like, yeah, but, I had one thing I was okay with, that it was just his room. His house wasn't messy. His dishes wasn't dirty. The house was clean, taking care of. You guys seen the pictures and stuff right here on this channel that I had to eventually show y'all because of an episode on this Discovery Channel thing that portrayed him in a bad way that wasn't true. Of course, his mother and his brother. But the thing is, he saw something that I didn't as an investigator. He said, look, Mr. McGrath was like, look, I saw messiness. Mr. McGrath saw somebody tampering with Daniel's room. They were looking for something. He pointed out the reason why. He gave him showing pictures in the closet, those things, and pointed out those things that with the vacuum cleaner. That's some things I showed you guys as well, but more in detail. But we never could say it wasn't Daniel. We couldn't say when it happened. We couldn't say it was Daniel or anything like that. To this point, a couple things, you guys. I have not, to this point, have gotten house keys from the Buckeye Police Department. They say, oh, his keys. I don't see the keys. The keys have never been given. So I don't have the keys to Daniel's apartment at the time, right? So I don't know the way things look. It was no forced entry into Daniel's apartment. No windows were broken. Miss McGrath checked all of that. See if any door panels are broken, that type stuff. Nothing indicated anybody broken in. So if something would happen, somebody was looking for something, somebody had his key. We didn't know if it was Daniel before he went to work that day, or maybe Daniel escaped away and came back home and did it. We don't know. So those kind of things we're looking at the time. But hindsight, before Buckeye received this digital forensics from Tempe that I facilitated. That answer we got back from Tempe Police Department, I was able to realize that someone has been tampering with Daniel. Went in there and did some searches on Daniel's computer after the vehicle showed up. The family, we didn't have access to the apartment at the time, but that's when there's somebody was in there doing that, right? So when I found that out through the Tempe Police Department, aha moment came. That goes along with what Mr. McGrath had when he was hired by me. That went with Mr. McGrath that says that somebody was in his apartment at this time. Those things are not being investigated, you guys, and that's the part that bothers me the most. I see a lot of stuff being surrounded with the Buckeye Police. They're so focused on proving that Daniel has some depression or that this vehicle was there for 30 days. That's their main objective to me. It seems like that way. It's not finding out what happened to my son, not finding out why this is a criminal case, not based on everything my investigator gave on the scene, based on the knowledge of me and my family of Daniel. Things he said, some of the friends, yeah, of course, they all say, oh, yeah, he was acting a little odd and strange or whatever the case they said he said. But one key thing, everybody said, this is not Daniel. He would not do this. He would not go out without telling somebody. He would not, so those things stay focused. Let's focus on those things that they all agree together, right? I don't agree with him being depressed. Me and him had a conversation 2 days before he went missing. It sounded depressed to me. I recorded that. I probably would eventually share with you guys as well. Long discussion, 2-hour conversation. The reason why I haven't shared it yet because I had used a lot of colorful words. That's how me and Daniel talk with each other. I use a lot of colorful words, and it feels more embarrassing to me to share with the public. So, but I'm getting to a point where I will be trying to get that redacted, certain wording that I say, because that's the way I talk with my son, and to show you guys Daniel's voice. Just you guys hear him yourself, hear how clear he's talking, hear him talking. And the other thing the Buckeye Police Department report, they make you guys appear that they lied on me. They have a lot of lies on me, and they have the answer to a lot of those things. They make it appear that I told him about that they said that he was in love with a woman, didn't know on this date and this and that. I didn't hear about the woman until 2 days before Daniel went missing. That's the first time I ever heard of the woman. My son, you'll hear in the recording that I have when he explained that to me. You'll hear the things that he said. He never used the word love, this woman. So I would show you the things where those things are lies that the Buckeye Police Department put out about me and my family. I do not like it. And it's in their report. And I asked them before to remove that, and they haven't. So those things bother me as well. So, but I'm saying, you guys, I'm pointing out these things for you guys so you guys can understand the trueness of what's really happening. They're in defense mode, you guys. They're in defense mode because we have a lot of people from the Justice Department, a lot of people from other places. I don't want to put the other ones out there because I'm not sure if it's okay to do that yet, but I say a part of government that's raining down on it. So different angles, guys, that you guys don't know, and you guys are doing this kind of this protesting, mailing protesting to making the phone calls. I know you guys, like I said, it's a method to the madness. Those things are actually working. You got all these things happening at one time in one department. Guess what? You know what's going to happen. They going out swinging. They coming out swinging. They putting out unnecessary things in the report, harmful things in the report, character things in the report to try to contradict, or for instance, who I am as a father. For instance, they're attacking back. That's what I'm saying. That's what's really going on. So you guys can see that in that report as well. But to go back to the report, you guys, also the DNA swab evidence. Also, you see a report that's inaccurate, you guys, where they say, hey, as if they asked me to get DNA and ask the mother to get DNA swab, and that is incorrect and it's a lie. I initiated from day one, you guys. You're asked the question why I didn't know anything about namers and stuff. This stuff I don't. I never had a missing person case, missing person before in my family, so I don't know. I'm a victim. As a definition of Arizona, I am a victim too, right? Family member, I'm a victim by Arizona definition. And I don't know these things. It's law enforcement's job to tell me these things, right? Hey, look, we need your DNA, blah, blah, blah. case something happens, we find Daniel or something similar, we can match it up or whatever, right? Never been done. I got those things from you guys out in the public. Told me about naming. I initiated contact with Namus. Okay, Mr. Driscoll or something like that. I can't remember exactly his name. I initiated that. He said he had to go call the Buckeye Police Department and work it from that angle, right? So, but I initiated it, you guys. It wasn't the Buckeye Police Department that initiated. They haven't been doing their job. I'm telling you guys. And if you don't push on them, they're not going to do the job. So everything you see step by step was, and I'm going to point those things out, was because of efforts and pushing. It was because of my efforts. It's because of me pushing that step. It's like if it pushing them along. Push them a little bit more, they did this. Push them again, they did this. Push them again, they did this. So I'm going to show you how those things work. And that's to show you how my efforts actually lines up with this report to make it so long, and they pointed out. So again, we have the black cell phone. I don't know what they're talking about, the black cell phone and things like that, but I do know that if they're talking about, they're putting the black cell phone on 2021. I can say that maybe they found something that I don't know. They got something that do with me, but we do have 2 cell phones that was found out in the area in my searches. Again, my efforts. Those things are also examined by the as a matter of fact, I think that's what it is, and they falsifying the dates, you guys, because Detective Bifford called me. I have him on the recorded call as well. He called me and asked me the dates when we found those phones out there in that desert. I was unable to get into him. Told him I'm looking for him. I'm a very busy man. I will get it to him as soon as I can. I haven't gotten to him yet. I'm a very busy man, like I told you guys. And because he wanted to match that up with some other things that you guys hearing in the report, for instance. But I will not put that out. But some other things they doing in the desert to that come from my efforts, you guys. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna check into this now. Hindsight, check into this thing. So I'm saying, you guys, everything is from my efforts. Thank law enforcement for finally, after almost 2 years, acting upon some of these things so they could put it on their list. You know what I'm saying? Their long list. Oh, we did this, did that, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's come from the pushing and the efforts, you guys. That's what I'm coming from. I really believe that, really believe you guys, if I would have left Arizona or I never came at all, there would have been no list. The list would have been like this or something. It would have been probably 1 or 2 pages. Well, we didn't find your son. We don't know what to do. It's a cold case, So I'm saying this is what happens when you're pushing. Again, come down again, you guys. DNA swab today. That's the thing that I have done. I initiated. I went to Tempe. And I'm telling you how much I don't trust Buckeye. After I initiated with Nameless and get this stuff done, this friends, that was from one of you guys suggested it to me, and that's when I found out about it. Need to do that. I told him Daniel's mother's address. They can call her and have her to do it in South Carolina, and I went to Tempe. Tempe Police Department did my swabbing, and they sent it to Buckeye Police Department, right? So, because I didn't trust the Buckeye Police Department, so I had it done at Tempe Police Department. Also, let's go down here to the gray and black backpack, you guys. Those things are found in the searches. That's near the well site. That's on the, I think near the Wagoner Wash, you guys. Those backpacks, things like that. Evidence, a lot of things we found out in that desert, you guys. And that came from the efforts of trying to locate Daniel from volunteers. Also, you got, let's see here, something I was looking at, you guys. These are the swabbing. All this swabbing on 7/26. This is like, think about it, guys. The vehicle found on July the 19th. This is July the 26th. This is consistent to the story I have been telling you guys from day one. Detective Biffin told me, he threatened me. He said, "Well," I said, "Hey man, I had enough. I throw my hand up enough." I was really mad. I was in an emotional state, you guys. I couldn't even move. I was so stunned seeing Daniel's vehicle for the first time. Only thing I could see, my son got injured in this thing, right? Or died or something. And so I said, he was trying to get me to touch that vehicle for whatever reason. Go open the door, doing that, throwing this, and trying to make me touch the vehicle for whatever reason. I said, "Sir, I had enough. I need to get out of here." "Well, before you leave, Mr. Right, you gonna have to get the vehicle out here. If you don't, we're gonna have a total away. You gonna have to pay storage fee." And I had felt like I was begging a grown man, you guys, to hold this vehicle for 3 days. So that's 20. The vehicle was shown to me and given to me on the 20th. 3 days later, on the 23rd, right? 2 days later, after that, I had this meeting with Chief Hall and his whole team. Larnell Farmer was there, was me as well as a witness, and it was recorded as well. That's when I learned they didn't do any forensics, but I realized that I have recording of Detective Biffin as well, explaining before I had this meeting, explaining the reason why they didn't do any forensics on that scene that day. He didn't see no need to do it for him. He didn't see no crime. He saw no reason to do any forensics on that scene, right? And also at the meeting, the Detective Hanneman, Sergeant Hanneman, whatever his name is, was being sarcastic when I say, "Hey, how y'all know anybody was driving? I need some forensics done on this vehicle. How you know Daniel was driving?" And he says, "Oh, it's his vehicle. His officer was driving." Dumb stuff like that. See, they think they can say things to me like that, treat me that way, and think it's the department I'm supposed to trust, right? Join the monastery, become a monk, and I have a brain injury from for serving this country. I never shredded my clothes off. Oh, he shredded his clothes off because he had a brain injury. I have a brain injury. Got hit by ID. I don't have shred my clothes off one time, or felt like I was hiding, felt like I was gonna do it. And he got ate up by an animal. I mean, you tell family members that kind of stuff. So why would I trust the department like that, right? So the thing is, we have that right here, you guys, the swabbing, all the stuff they say they did here. This river mirror, that's new to me. All this, the seat belt, that's new to me. But the steer wheel, the drive inside driver's side handle, those things I see on those first reports, right? So of course, I'm kind of feel like I'm starting to dissect some of this thing, but this kind of thing we'll be talking about this report coming out, and I'll make sure I don't go too far because I don't know if they have everything redacted. But I will be going through this thing and heavily with you guys, but I want to skip ahead and go and show you this other reports. These are the old reports, part of old reports. You kind of can see some of the things are the same. This is the first initial report. This part was this is like a second report. It's partially redacted, you guys. And if you go down, you'll see some things change with this report. If you look at the evidence for the gear shift, Riverside, the seatbelt, UBS port, right? But you see some things change. The numbers of information I put in this little CAD thing is very minimal. And I'll say I want to go back with you guys on that. It's very minimal. And these are the contests. These are the contests they had initially on here. Of course, guys, they add in every content they ever spoke to. I guess you look at the dates, it's all around the same time. So if they did around the same time and this dates here, why they didn't add it the first time? That's what I'm trying to say. So, but all of a sudden now they're adding to give you guys more pages to go through and say, "Whoo, there's a lot of pages." So they must have did something. So I'm saying I'm going to that direction with that. Now to go without details, I really need to get off this Q&A. I'm working off 1 hour sleep. Um, this is going to be the contradictory part with the Buckeye Police Department. This is an email when I initially, and this date was August 23rd of 2022. I talked to Charlie Smith. He's the guy that owned the app Mile IQ, right? And I had talked to him on the phone, and I wanted to find out more about this app. Maybe that could help me find Daniel, where his vehicle was, because I couldn't get much off of Google because it'd been wiped off his phone. When I say wiped, it'd been deleted. Information been like that, been deleted off the phone. That wasn't there. Google said we couldn't do it without a warrant. This kind of stuff, and the cell phone pings as well. All that stuff couldn't be done without a warrant. But all of a sudden now, Buckeye is saying these type things, right? And this happened as a change here. It said, "Hi, David." This has been here after we had a conversation on the phone, and he was really distraught that everything, his thing had been deleted off because after 9 days, there's no way to retrieve information from his servers. And the thing is that one of the things he said as well is that what he saw was that everything was pulled off of there from the date Daniel went missing. So it's a high attention is the drive that we discussed. Unfortunately, we have this start stop location and distance, right? I did not know this, but we removed the route waypoint rate data after 90 days because of the cost of storage. Now, can you forward this to Detective Biffin? Yes, and that's what I end up doing. Thank you guys for your help. Forward it to them as well. Thank you. And that's when you can see down here. I say it's honestly my pleasure. I really wish I could help more. This is when I end up sending it down. I send it to my attorney as well, and then I also send it to Detective Biffin. But this is still it's always so I send it to the Tempe Police Department as well. but I ended up sending it to forwarded it to Detective Biffin. So you guys, I'm telling you, this is the kind of thing that I have to ask questions. You guys see here, I sent it forward here to Larry Biffin, is his name. And but this is the point I'm trying to make, you guys. What I'm saying is, this is the conversation I had with the Mile IQ, saying that the information is not there. They didn't have any waypoints, and they didn't have any spreadsheet that they say they got. Oh, we got the spreadsheet from Mile IQ thing saying the coordinates was here, and the coordinate. He told me they didn't have it. It been deleted. You guys, this was a voice conversation I had with this guy. I have recorded that as well, and I'm trying to figure out, well, if that was deleted, well, how Buckeye have that? To me, it feel like another stunt. I'm not accusing them, but it feel like some type of stunt that says, "Oh, we're gonna make sure this vehicle was there in his ravine for 30 days." But the problem for me is they really hurting themselves with that, because that really brings the question is, what kind of searches have you guys been doing? What kind of searches you guys have been doing with Maricopa County? They say they have done. What kind of search you have done with these cadaver dogs and with Civil Air Patrol? And so you trying to tell me, with all the so-called efforts you got done in the same exact spot, it's almost like me riding down the street and somebody says, can you come to my house on Mount Elm Street, 295 Elm Street? And I'm riding down the road, and I call him, I say, I can't find it. And then I call somebody, say, man, we're going to send somebody, when my cousin let out, he going to meet you. Where you at? I'm at this gas station. We're going to go past here together. We went down past again, and we're going to show me. And then we said, we still can't find it. We can't find it. But then we said, well, the house was always there, but we couldn't find it. It's impossible. You would have seen the house, would have been there, or, probably a bad analogy, but I'm saying, you guys, it's impossible. One of the things that the Buckeye Police Department still, they asked me today, I have not, you guys seen all this new information. This was kind of stuns me as well. This new information that the Buckeye Police Department putting out. Not one information they have in a new report that says they have pictures of helicopter footage of the initial search. They say they did the civil. They only have wording. Oh, we had a search with Phoenix Firebird. No, I want to have the facts of that. They say, oh, we had searches with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and we just somehow couldn't see with the plane, with the helicopter, low flying, with all kind of stuff they did in that same spot where the vehicle eventually will be found. We just didn't see it. Oh, the brush was too high. But then they gave me the footages I showed you guys before many times on here about, they say, oh, the brush is high, but you look at that area and literally the brush come to my chest or something. And the vehicle's blue and it's out in the open, and you riding over it, looking down at it, and you say you didn't see it those many times. You walking on the ground, you walking past the area, and you didn't see it. The rancher who walked in the ravine and didn't see it. I'm saying, so the point is, it wasn't there, you guys. And I'm still going to stick on that. And he said, oh, I'm confident that Detective Biffin called me a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I'm confident the vehicle was there. And I see the reason why they come with the Mile IQ thing. And that puzzles me. And I'm going to have to dig into it, because it puzzled me, because the Mile IQ person told me something totally different well before that date. And that we had a personal conversation about it. He looked into his service, wasn't there. They deleted it, and he was apologizing. The reason why, the only thing he can give is that Daniel had some things before the 20. It was before the 23rd, to the 22nd on back. Everything else going forward was gone. So that's the thing he pointed out to me. But anyway, we'll be talking about that a little bit more into depth. So I just wanted to show y'all a little bit more. One of the problems is that you guys, I have been doing a lot of investigating on my own. A lot of things I keep to myself. I wish I could show you guys what's sitting next to me, what's sitting in my computer. But I have a lot of files. I send them to different places in case something happened. But I have so much stuff to dig through. And one of the biggest things, like I had to do before, you guys, to try to show the public some things, is I had to dig into what I'm doing investigating. And that's to, for instance, I'm using the thing what Daniel mother and his brother did with the Discovery ID channel. I really applaud Discovery ID channel for keeping Daniel's story out there, because it brings a lot of people. At the same time, I get very disgusted. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing with my family last night, you guys, for the first time, because I got disgusted with some of the inaccuracies that I've been hearing from, unfortunately, my son and his mother about the case, because they haven't been in Arizona to learn about the case. Everything they hear is from what I relay back to them. But the way I take it, you guys, they're doing their best. They're trying, and they try to do their best. I don't think they have some nefarious thing they was doing. What I'm saying is, when I was relaying these things that I've been learning about Daniel, because they asked me back then, they used to ask me, "Hey, Dad, what's going on?" Basically, I send his mother and Daniel's mother and his sisters and brother information. I had a chat. I send them what I can when I have time, because I start getting so busy I can't even give them information. So, but I give them information, and they get things mixed up. For instance, he was giving a story about Lee. This is another thing, you guys. This came from also my efforts as well. I gave it to the Buckeye Police Department. I commend them from actually, they said they went to California, for instance, or they went to this place. I commend them for doing that too. But we had went to as well. Mr. McGrath and myself, we went to there long before they did. So when they said, we went to Flagstaff, we already been to Flagstaff. When I heard them say that, I was like, whoa, y'all just not going. We already been there and check that out. But the thing is, it was a story that my son had given about this lady, about the spiritual journey. Y'all heard something say about the spiritual journey. It is two different tips, you guys. One came out of Paradise Valley area. The lady, she's a journalist. She was out and she said she met a young man. To go paraphrase, it was she said he was saying he was on the spiritual journey. That really stood out to me and my family, and that's the reason why I told them about it. Because Daniel would say things like that. That's the kind of wording he would use. We thought it sounds something like familiar to us. And so I took really pride into finding out more about what the lady had to say. I still have contact with her. And she was telling me about the guy saying about the spiritual journey. We couldn't find anything that really fans out about that was Daniel or not, so we don't know to this date. But the thing was the Flagstaff. So he kind of mixed those two stories together. The Flagstaff wasn't about the spiritual journey. It was about the him sitting with two other people or some homeless people type that somebody said they recognized him in front of Sprouts in the that area. So so that type of stuff. So those two things kind of irritated me, because I say, oh yeah, well, it's a mistake, but those two stories kind of mixed in. But then the part that hurt me the most is that I have been here I've been in Arizona fighting for Daniel's integrity, the person he is. He's a brilliant scientist, you guys. I would not let anybody, I don't care who they are, downplay his character of his person, or make him seem like a person without integrity, a person who's I guess a criminal element or anything, right? And so that's my job as a father, to do that, to point out those things that Daniel are not and that he is, and don't allow people to say certain things about him. So when I saw, for instance, this episode partner, that's why I ended up stopping, because when I saw them say, she said, "Oh, he's in so much pain. I see pain." But first of all, she hadn't even been to Arizona. But when she did see Daniel's apartment, it was after I was dismantling. I was putting things in the box. I didn't have time to finish packing it because I had so many interviews. I flew her and my oldest son up to do an interview with me with, I think it was AB's Nightline or something. And so when she saw his apartment, it was in the state of me packing things. I asked them, can they finish packing those things for me, because I didn't have time. So she didn't get to see his apartment how it was before I started dismantling it. So the thing is, so the opinion about his apartment was really off the record. He was in so much pain, it was nasty, and it had these food trays all the place, the trash was running over. That was offensive to me. So I had to dig into my pictures, you guys, something I would never want to give the public, you guys, because some things I still haven't gotten to the public. That's what I said. Some of these things, because of what Buckeye putting out, is coming out. I'm really looking for avenues to be able to release these recorders of the law enforcement definitely contradicting themselves on their report. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, you guys, I've been trying to hold on to things and not put things out, right? I put out a lot. Y'all probably, man, he be putting out everything. No, I do not put out everything, you guys. And the thing is, I had to put those pictures out, and that really hurt me. It really hurt me, because I had to go into the fence of Daniel and say, no, he did not have dirty dishes in the sink. No, his trash wasn't hanging all over and this and that. No, he wasn't in no pain, and you could see it through the way he kept his house. Yeah, his room was messy because, as Mr. McGrath said, somebody was looking for something, right? Yes, he did have marijuana roaches in his ashtrays. He's a weed smoker. I'm gonna say this again, because I know I have native friends and my team members. But my opinion was when I came to Arizona the first time, I say, man, everybody smoked weed in Arizona. Everybody. I mean, to me, everybody, because I hadn't gone to a place in Arizona I didn't smell weed, even in the apartment complex I was living in. So that type stuff. So, but that is a weed smoking state, but it's legal. And so the thing is, I'm saying is, for a young man, yeah, I'm sure recreationally he used weed, and he did. I don't. I'd rather not. So the thing is, that's the kind of stuff, you guys, that happens with this whole uh, case, you guys, and it's frustrating, you guys. And like I said, I'm not interested. I said this many times before. I'm not interested in making the Buckeye Police Department look good. I'm just interested in them doing their job. I have been beaten down by the department, by their actions. I had to come to Arizona because of their actions. I had to start my own searches, which they didn't help because of their actions. I had to go to you guys for funding, and I had to. I mean, this all kind of stuff, guys. It's been through a lot. I had to hear and take things that they were saying to me. He's joined a monastery, become a monk, and he got taken by an animal, so he hid on a tree or something. And, those kind of things I be hearing, things that don't make sense to me. Oh, this vehicle rolled and he moved his hand, rolled and twisted, and blah blah blah. And I got to visualize that in my head, and then say, oh, but the good part is he had a seatbelt on and he ain't sustained no injury because we ain't see no blood in the vehicle, but he had a severe brain injury. I had a brain injury, so I'm hearing that kind of language. I'm thinking like, okay, he had a brain injury. You telling me he kicked his way out of sunroof and all this kind of stuff without a key? Because you guys know I showed you how that sunroof is a panel, and how that thing worked with the key that goes in the back of that comes out the back of that vehicle. It's a lock, and so there's all kind of stuff that just don't make sense about it. The ignorance of the black sock that was found out there as well. I mean, there's certain things just being ignored and not put into in this report. They're ready to put what people said that leads to, oh, he has some kind of uh, uh, what called depression, or like I said. But they didn't put in that I've been getting death threats, for instance. I came to them and I had to go to FBI. FBI told me to go to Buckeye and report them. I booked it. I booked them twice. I even told Chief Hall that he claimed he didn't know. And they still not putting that in the report and didn't follow up on it of the death threats I had. I had to start carrying. Thank God that Arizona is an open carry state. Everywhere I went, I open carry. Everywhere. And that was being suggested by Mr. McGrath. At the time, he was there trying to facilitate and try to understand who the persons were. They was calling from and doing things from burner phones, of course. And, so I had to deal with that kind of stuff. The FBI didn't step in, and they did go report, but they didn't step in. And also, I don't know, because I'm a black man or what the case may be, but they didn't attempt to help. You know what I'm saying? I had to walk around and carry everywhere I go. So the thing is, you guys, I'm saying those type things, they were very selective and add little stupid stuff in a report, but can't add things like that. Is what I'm saying. There's stuff. Oh yeah, Mr. McGrath thinks that maybe this, that, blah, blah, just this stuff to try to cause contention and stuff. Those are unnecessary things. You guys can read through that. If you read that, you should feel offended by it, and I do, because I'm telling you why you should feel offended by it, because it hurts me. It hurts me as a father who's been there, and I can't point out, and that let me know they're into their feelings. And I told you this before. I don't care about their feelings. They're not victims by Arizona law. I am a victim. My son went missing. I'm out here fighting for my son. You should not be attacking me personally, and that's what the Buckeye Police Department is doing. And so the thing is, and they're doing it in a systematic way because they're angry, because we're raining down all this attention on them. And I'm guaranteeing I'm really grateful for you guys continuing helping me do so. And we're not going to stop until my son's case is moved over to the Maricopa County. We find Daniel and get the justice that he deserved. And I'm asking you guys to have a pledge to that. And really trust me. It's a method to the madness. Just trust me on this, guys. I know you see this report. I know you say, oh, let's say hypothetically, oh, they did a great job. Now what? Let's keep this thing going, you guys. Let's keep this thing going. I had to find my son. I did not come out to Arizona. I told you guys before, I vowed I would not leave without my son. I'm going to be here, and that's my intent. That was my intentions, and I mean what I say. But life could change some things, you guys. Life could change. I'm not a rich man. Life can change. I did the best I can with the funding you guys have helped me with. But sometimes things change. I have obligations with family. I have a family. I have a home in South Carolina. I have family. I have a young daughter. You name it. I have obligations as well. So juggling all those things together, I'm doing the best I can. I think I'm doing a damn good job. That's me. I don't know how you guys feel, But I do know how you feel. I see it a lot of times in the chat. So if you guys really feel that way, please hang in there. Please continue this mail-in protest. Please keep supporting us, keep sending a letter, keep making phone calls. We need this case moved out of moved over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and we're not going to stop until we get that, you guys. And the reason why I need this forensics, I'm still paying for forensics. You guys holding on to it. Why am I still holding on this vehicle? Why I'm still holding? They can put on I did swabbing. That's not enough, you guys. If this is your family member, if this is a police cruiser, you think they would have swapped the steel wheel, the shifter, the rearview mirror, and whatever that was they saying, and that would have been it? No. They'd have found out where the red transfer paint came from. Well, of course, they would know it's a police uniform because it say uniform is his, I guess. But if we didn't idea, if it had a Tempe police uniform sitting on the ground and here it is a Buckeye police officer, they're gonna say we're gonna test these clothing and see who been in this clothing. That is not his uniform. They're not doing that. They can't do simple things like that because they don't care. It's all about whatever they can do and put on paper to say, we did this, we did that, we did that. That's why they're spreading all the stuff. I'm saying they wrote this thing elaborate. I'm not a person that look at things at face value. I look at the details of it. It's written very colorfully and well. And I'm sure their city attorney or whoever wrote that stuff, this report, redid it, took it off the market so you guys can get it and revamped it to make it say, hey, we've been doing something since day one. No, and I'm showing y'all the reasons why I still say no, they have not. Oh, they've been working because we've been pushing them. They've been working because I've been in Arizona pushing them. They've been working some stuff. I give some stuff to Detective Biffin doing some stuff, but I can't say they didn't do enough and they haven't done what they should have been doing from day one, and they haven't taken evidence that's available to them, and they're fighting against it with things that, like this mal-IQ thing, that don't make sense to me. I need to know where I will be talking to see why Mr. Charlie Smith, if those things need to be validated. That's all I got to say, you guys, for me. I'm not a father who's going to say, yeah, this is exactly how it is. No, those things are going to be proven that this is the case, because we're not going to end this with the physical evidence saying something different, but then they trying to weigh it in on some app on the phone. Say, oh, this phone was here at 10 o'clock in the morning, blah, 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 because of the app or whatever. When this man says it been deleted, those two things don't add up to me. So that's when I saw that, you guys, that was really stunning to me. And it was based on that. And I'm saying, how can did they make this up, or they print out their own thing, or where this came from? I need to see those evidence of it, and I will be getting those answers to that, and I will be sharing that with the public, because that don't make sense to me. And this is well documented email well before they came out with this stuff. Again, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this live. I'm working on an hour of sleep, you guys, and I'm telling you, I'm very tired. I really want to get up. I definitely want to tell each and every last one of you thank you. I just wanted to kind of put some names there. I've been wanting to do that. Trying to get some information out. I'm tired, you guys. But thank you, Arctic Fox, True Crime. Thank you so much for being here. Share it to my community tab and to all my platforms. I thank you so much, Arctic Fox, True Crime. One thing I can say, I can tell you're a content creator, I hope, and I believe so, the way you say that, your platforms. I want to say thank you to all the creators, because, people like Gizla K for Grizzly True Crime, John Q, and Q Carlot, and there's so many, T. Sophia, and some of these other, everybody who definitely, saying these names, and I end up missing a lot of people that say, well, you call me out, but it's a lot of you that has been helping me from day one on the social media side of things. I've been getting interviews with people like CNN and Red Table Talk, and that's all good. But the community is always even better too. So when you guys have been sharing along social media lines and on your page and your platform. Somebody say, I got this from Black and Missing Foundation, Vice. I asked for Vice, and I saw them at CrimeCon, Derica and Natalie, and I asked them about these smaller platforms. They say take them all. You want to get your loved one's story out there, and you have these content creators. They can have I'm just being funny, but they can have 500 followers. I'm just saying, you don't know. Take it, right? Go on these platforms and share your personal story. I'm telling you, because the whole key is it don't matter the volume of numbers of people on that platform. What matters is getting that information out, because that one person that knows something just watch. They say, hey, I don't want this big platform. Why I want to watch this smaller platform. Be there to hear something, and that you say, and then say something. So that's what you're doing. You're trying to reach out to everybody you can, big and small. So I appreciate every content creator out there who doing their job. Some doing it for a living, some doing it for to get information out for people. Whatever the case, your love is for what you do. Thank you so much for that. Also have Esther. Thank you so much for constantly be here. There's no distance in space or time, separation in our heart. Thank you so much for being constant here, and I truly appreciate you. Also, I have Aaron Chase. Thank you so much, Aaron, for being here. And I really appreciate all the hard work you've been doing in the background as well, and being here constantly. Twilight Zone Land, thank you so much as well for being here off the YouTube side. Thank you so much. God bless you for being here. Again, Aaron Chase, Unity, that's right, Unity, Candlelight Vigil. You guys don't forget, that's what we will be doing, and we have to try to help other families as well while I'm doing this search for my son. And David, you must take enough pause to take care of yourself. So keep going. Yes. To be honest with you guys, after the 1 hour sleep, I was actually just going to skip this morning, but I thought it was very important to not talk about this report, because that's something I'm going to continue to talk about. But I wanted to talk about the Unity Candlelight Vigil. That was very important to me, you guys. Like I said, this whole thing, again, you guys, is very important, because this whole thing will bring light in the way I'm putting it in my head, and I'm gonna put it on the talk to my team today and get it on this website, Eventbrite. And the way I want it is that it's helping other families. Daniel, I said on News Nation last night, and I said here many times, he's America's son, meaning that uh, it happens to a lot of people and their families. There's many sons that's missing today. Over 1,400 people go missing every day in this country. And Daniel's story is just another example of what happens in this country, how people can remain missing so long. And I tell you guys, there's no doubt mistakenly. I don't care how they try to frame it in the report. There's no doubt about there was nothing done at the beginning that caused me to come to Arizona. You guys, we're not going to forget the story. The initial story when I was fought for local news coverage. The first stories that came out of local news for Josh Sanders and Nicole Griggs. A man traveled from South Carolina, 2,000 miles from South Carolina, in search for his son. Right? I mean, that was a storyline, a story point. I'll be honest with you, at first I didn't really like those storylines. So, this man going travel, I didn't like hearing that all the time. And the reason why, because I didn't hear about Daniel's mother. Even though she and I are divorced, I didn't hear much about her. But hindsight now, I understand the reasons why now. But the thing is, we can't forget the reasons why I went to Arizona. We can't forget the reasons why I felt that need to be there. The reason why I started my own searches, and the reason why I ended up being 48, 49 weeks searches, why I had been only volunteer 35,000 acres of land, only volunteer, none law enforcement help. I literally had to write letters for law enforcement to show up on a search to do a specific thing, but they come empty-handed. The Buckeye Police Department didn't do anything. Your presence wasn't enough. I needed them to bring those equipment at time that I asked for. They bring nothing, and they stand around with their hand in their pocket. They didn't need to be there. When I called them the 2 times they showed up at my search, when I sent a letter to Chief Hall asking him to help. So the thing is, we didn't need a bodyguard. Most people out there, some form of fashion armed. This is Arizona. Everybody got to assume are armed. So we didn't need their protection. The thing is, you guys, Archie Fox True Crime, thanks so much for being here as well. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, Esther Taylor, thanks so much for being here. Lex Lutz, thanks so much for being here. Let me go back up. I think I'm going a little too fast. All right, and I have Amy M, thanks so much for being here. They are trying to save face, in my opinion. Well, they are, of course. I feel like this. If I was at a job, and I'm working at a factory, and somebody come pointing out that I haven't been doing my job right, I might get on the defensive too, right? But that's what I'm saying, you guys. That's the point. I understand the being on the defensive, but I don't care about your feelings on, because they wouldn't care if I'm not doing the job that I should be doing at that factory or whatever. They're gonna say something. They're gonna get rid of me, And it ain't about your feelings. It's about your ass. Hey, man, you need to tighten up. They come to me, hey, you need to tighten up. You know, you can take that constructive criticism and tighten up, or you can do things like this, putting in a report what Mr. McGrath said personally, or things like this. These personal attacks that the Buckeye Police Department is giving out right now to me, right? I'm pointing out. They say, hey, you giving us personal attacks. No, you're a public organization run by tax dollars. You're supposed to get that kind of scrutiny, personal scrutiny. It ain't about your feelings, about your job performance. So I'm saying is I'm a civilian. I'm a person. I'm a victim by law of Arizona. You cannot attack me like that. You cannot be putting things out to try to stir contention with people that's actually trying to support my efforts here. Make them question my credibility or who I am as a person. I'm telling you who I am. I'm David Robinson. Some call me the real David Robinson. I am David Robinson. I'm a father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson, and I'm here to fight for him. And that's who I am, and I'm going to continue to do so regardless of their feelings, you guys, regardless of their feelings. And I'm going to point out everything I can that is not right. I'm going to make sure that my son's case is moved over to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office where I feel like it should be. I'm his father. I'm the representative that's been fighting for him for over a year, over almost 2 years from my family. So I will be fighting for that, and they will. Maricopa County Sheriff's Zone will take on the case for my son, and I'm not going to stop until he do. So the thing is, Esther Taylor, thank you again for being here. There are bad actors in every agency, but more people in agencies you involved, the harder it will be to suppress anything. Thank you. Also, Twilight Zone Land. Amen, Esther Taylor, to everything you type. Thank you so much for being here, Twilight Zone Land, as well. Also, we have Latanya Tats. Thank you so much for being here, Steph Smith. Thank you for your prayers. And let's see here. So I'm get a couple more people, you guys. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna keep going today. If you guys come back this evening, I will be talking about some of the same thing, and I'll be talking about some of the same thing. But I'll try to go through the same thing pretty much I went through this morning, but I'll try to add a little bit more. Hopefully I get some sleep because I do have an interview coming up, so I won't be able to sleep immediately, but I'll try to get a little nap in. I don't take naps, but I'm going to try to push myself because this time I only had 1 hour, and it's not feeling good right now. Also, Sophia, I want to put you back up. Thanks so much for being here, moderating, and thank you for everything you do, of course. My friend, not just a person, but you're my friend as well, family member, team member, and board member. So thanks so much. Shauna, too, same likewise to you as well. Friend, board member, family, friend, everything. So thanks so much, you guys, for being here, moderating. Esther again, Willie. Thank you, Esther, for that comment. Yeah, I'm proud of my team. They're very, very good people, very hardworking people. It's amazing to see people who came from out there in the desert searching with me, out there in the desert, and form a group and just to help. And they've been helping ever since. Wonderful people. Based on Buckeye PD's new data, there is no way Ken is telling the truth. I think, in my opinion, just in my investigation, one thing, for instance, they had this guy. I don't believe his story lines up. Even the guy that they pointing out more so, who was the second person that say he's seen Dan. You guys probably remember I told you guys about this. I had did a family press conference out there in the desert, and I was really happy. Oh, yeah, there's another person. My investigator, he got it wrong. I can't say Mr. McGrath got that wrong. He told me, and you can see in the video, guys. I'm gonna play it one day on here as well. He told me that he vetted the story and he is a federal law enforcement officer because that's what he told us. He had a badge and everything. And I'm telling this stuff to you guys, and and also telling you guys about the FBI coming in. But I was really disappointed for the Buckeye Police Department. They told me the FBI wasn't, because I was doing too great of a job on my own. But I'll talk about this guy who's say he's seen Daniel as well. During that time, of course, I was really. That's why I looked at if you watch the video, I looked at him because I was sure. I was like, make sure he's sure, because I definitely wasn't sure about it. And but I did give that information. I did send that guy when I talked to him. I sent him to the Buckeye Police Department. He and I have a conversation with that as well. I keep everything, you guys. I sent him to Detective Biffin. So you guys see that report. I sent this guy to the Buckeye Police Department because he said he tried to reach out to them before he reached out to us, but they rejected him. They didn't talk to him. They didn't want to talk to him. So he talked to my investigator, and then he talked to me, and me and him lifted conversations at the time. I was getting a lot of information I still have from him, and then we had this content creator. Make a long story short, came out into a search and just messed that all up. He started posting the man's criminal history out into the public, and the guy, me and him, lost communication. But the information I was able to extract from him made me ask a lot of questions. There's a couple of things that you don't see in the report that the bug I have that I have. He's initially, this is what I have, and this is all recorded stuff as well. He literally told me that he seen Daniel the last time he seen him twice that day, and it was around 1 o'clock he saw him, right? 1 o'clock. Oh, I saw him at 1 o'clock, around 1 o'clock. But then Mr. McGrath came out with a report from the infotainment system that stated that the accident happened around 1 o'clock. And that's another contradiction to the Buckeyes Police Department report. The accident happened around 1 o'clock that day, 12 something. It can't be, both things can't be true. But anyway, it happened around 12. That's a long ravine. That means it took almost 3 hours for that vehicle to come from the top of that ravine and make it down to the bottom. It took 3 hours to hit the bottom. But the thing is, you guys, he said he was there at 1 o'clock. And then when he heard that story, he changed the story. So, I was there at 10. I saw him at 10. I saw him around 10 o'clock. So when he said that, those were red flags to me. So a couple of things I would not put out that red flags to me. So what happened was, and this is probably about 3 weeks ago now or so, Detective Bifford called me and asked me about it. He said, hey, look, we looking to that guy you sent to us, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what you think? And me and him had a conversation. I told him, I said, to me, I looked at him as a suspect. And I've been honest with you, I've said that out to you guys in public. I looked at him as a suspect because, just like him, to me, is a suspect. I looked them all into a suspect because those are, in other words, to me, that means I need to look into a little farther because of the statements and other things that I know. And so me and him discussed those things, and then lo and behold, I see them now have those things into the report, right? So he asked me what my opinions were and what I think, and I gave him the information I had extracted from the guy, and then they put this in the report. So I'm telling you guys, it is a lot of efforts, a lot of work. Because the reason why I was really stunned with Chief when Detective Bifford asked me about this guy a few days ago, you guys. A few weeks ago now. What I was surprised about is because the last time I talked to him about this man was in 2022. It was probably around January, February of 2022. I had Buckeye Police Department out there doing a search of that well. That's when they did the search of that half. I'm gonna say it just like this. I hope my mom and she was watching the other day. Half-ass search, you guys, that caused me to do a full search of that well. That found that stuff down in there, but they did a half-ass search, and they had that camera that barely touched the water. It was that day, and me and him had a discussion about this man then. And he said, well, we vetted his story, because I knew at that time they already interviewed the guy. Well, we vetted his story, and he was out there. I said, well, what about his history? I started bringing up this history thing. He said, well, that don't mean nothing. That don't matter, because we believe his story is true. He did see Daniel. He said his last one he did. So he agreed with the guy. But then now, in hindsight, now here in 2023, they're looking at him as a suspect because I said so, which is good. I want them to look at it as a suspect and check and deep dive in it. But the case is, I'm saying, you guys, it's come from efforts. And that's the way I think law enforcement that's why I envisioned it when I first came to Arizona, until our relationship fell apart and I have some suspicions about things with Buckeye. Our vision when I came to Arizona, you guys, that I would be working side by side with law enforcement. I'm going to look for my son, but I would like for law enforcement to constantly communicate with me. I'm a father. I'm the kind of father, hey, you got some things you don't want to tell to the public. We can agree this is not going out to the public. We can work together in a joint investigation. That's how things was flowing at first before that vehicle showed up, you guys. if you guys can watch this report very well in detail, and I'm going to get my report as my timeline as well, you can see how those things were working together at first until the vehicle showed up and it was resistant to the information that was found for whatever reason. So my whole goal is to get my son's case moved to a different department so I can work with law enforcement to find my son. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be enemies of law enforcement. I'm not a law enforcement basher, but you know what? I don't like corruption to me and all the stuff, because I was, be honest with you guys, I think on the next Q&A this evening, if you guys come back, I have a lot of content to show you guys. We have a lot of things to talk about the history of Buckeye. When I had to go read this stuff and the things that's going on now with the Buckeye, the corruption, the letters from anonymous sources from inside the department of the corruption and crooked things they are doing in that department. These are things I want to point out this evening to you guys to kind of go along with my thinking, the reasons why I don't trust my son's forensics with the Buckeye Police Department or this, and the reason why I see them as fighting against evidence to prove, to enforce this vehicle in there for 30 days, for instance, and how I could say how they probably can change this mile IQ thing, in my opinion, to match their theory to keep that vehicle in that ravine, though they've been through it and it wasn't there for 30 days for whatever reason. They really want that vehicle there for 30 days. For what reason? Chief Hall even came out to a search to point out and never came back. He came out for that one thing. The point, that vehicle was here. I tell you, I'm paraphrasing. He didn't literally say, I tell you, the vehicle was here, you guys. It was here, but he was out there grandstanding like Moses. It was here. Make sure that you guys know it's here. And then left, never came back. That's why I took it. The way he said it like that, but this how I took it. Like, this man trying to sell me a story. He trying to convince me that the vehicle was here. I didn't know at the time because I didn't have an investigator or nothing at that time. And he just selling us the story. He's talking grandstanding about the cartels and all kind of stuff, throwing his hand up and pointing out that this vehicle was there in that ravine. He was pointing at the wrong ravine at the time. The rancher corrected him, but rancher corrected him. He turned red to face, never be seen again. Never came back to that search ever again in life. Then came out there not one more time. But he came there to point out one thing. He skipped over me and my daughter, jumped out of the vehicle. Just had a meeting with him, jump out of the vehicle. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Robinson? And then say nothing to my daughter, walk past it. Hey, everybody, y'all want to know where this vehicle was found? You know, that kind of thing. I mean, why you came out there just to show us the vehicle? So that was a suspect to me. So at the same time, you guys, when I'm saying suspect, things like that is suspect to me. You know, when I go hindsight and I look at the details of why, then I look at the affiliation with people and who knows who and who's associated with who. Those kind of things tells me a lot about what's really going on. And so a lot of things, you guys, because of what Buckeye's doing, a lot of guys, they give me the opportunity to start releasing some things that I know, you guys. And so those things will be slow dripping to you guys. I'm really trying to make sure I'm doing it in some legal way. And but some things gonna be slow dripping about things I do know about the department, about the persons, and everything else that I do have collected over almost 2 years of stuff. So again, you guys, thank you so much for watching this live. I do have a question here. I have a lot of things I want to keep talking about, but it's always already at 2-hour mark. I have one from SW 4x4 Explorers. Question I have been to the crash site. How far is the well from the stage? It's about 4 miles away. You know, give or take. I say they still trying to say that well, Buckeye want to put it at the well site, at their first well site. I was misled to, but the second well site is actually the site. Why did it take so long for Daniel to get from the crash site? It's only 5 minutes away, and that's the thing. Yeah, it's really short distance. And with that vehicle he got, I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. A couple things. I wish I had. Oh my gosh, I wish I had videotaped that of somebody standing on the ground. But when I go out there, well, if I can go out there again, Daniel has a his vehicle. I don't think it's even a 4x4. I'm not sure. Even if it is, I'm not sure. I think it's not a 4x4. I'm gonna check into that, because definitely if it's not a 4x4, I know he wouldn't have been able to make that hill. But the place where they sent him to get up there to that spot, whatever, it would have been hard, difficult, right? But let's say he got a 4x4. Cause I got it with a non 4x4 up that hill too. It depends. I think it's got more slick because people keep going up. But I can tell you the terrain, and the men, Mr. McGrath, with the desert, we have razors. A lot of people don't know what 4x4s or razors and things like that. We had these razors. I had a 4-door razor. He had the quads. that I've been paying for, you guys. I want to make sure you say that y'all see some stuff in the report that they say Ms. McGrath said. But I paid for those equipments and stuff for him, and I have those receipts. But it cost me thousands of dollars to house their equipment for him and his team to fly around the desert with their hat turned backwards and stuff. But the thing is, we drove those vehicles trying to get that speed that the black box data said was on that vehicle at the time of impact, right? And it's impossible. Very impossible. We tried it with lightweight vehicles, with vehicles that made for that terrain. It was impossible. His foot wouldn't have been able to stay on the throttle. If we take a vehicle, I was taking the U-Haul pickup truck, and I was going across terrain, and you can't hardly keep your foot on the throttle. You were bouncing, boom, booming, booming, and it's no way you can keep that throttle down consistently or whatever. And so, long story short, things just don't match to reality. Reality, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I'm go back again to the Mile IQ thing, and we will get to the bottom of Mr. Charlie Smith and Detective Biffin's account of what Mr. Charlie Smith gave him. Also, let me see here. I don't think I have any more questions. I have something here from DJ Moore. Morning. I seen good old, I guess, SF out on San Francisco investigates is blowing. Investigates blow. Okay, that guy needs to stick to working on skateboards. I think he's talking about probably have some conversation in there. But thank you, DJ Moore, for being here. Let's see. Yes. Do you think perhaps he came upon some cartels? You guys have any questions? Utilize the capital letter Q, the word question and question marks before, and I can find it. But according to the Chief Hall, is the only time I heard anything about cartels from law enforcement. And that was when I told you guys when he came out there grandstanding and he had us following. I like to use that knowledge, so I'm gonna keep using it. He had us following him like Moses did for the children of Israel, and they follow him to the Red Sea. But he had us following him and standing up that big hill like he was Moses and talking to us and grandstanding about the cartels and how bad it is in the area. They fly their planes on Sun Valley Parkway and land on Sun Valley Parkway at night, dropping their drugs. They kind of do something where they can come almost land in a way, drop it, and keep up in there and go back to Mexico. That's how you put it. And so, hearing them say those kind of things, and so that's the whole time I heard of anything to try to suggest the cartels had gotten Daniel. I can tell you out of 48 or 49 weeks of searches out there, I have seen some areas going out farther into what we call Corridor 11 area. I think it was Corridor 11 we call it. But going out some areas, we've seen guys with pickup trucks that look, like what's they doing out here? What they doing? But people out there all the time, they quail hunts and all kind of stuff. But I haven't seen any indication of cartel and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know who a cartel is. I don't even know what they're supposed to look like. So it could just be somebody in a pickup truck or something. I don't know. But the thing is, but I do know that's a corridor for drug trafficking and human trafficking and stuff like that. So that is a corridor. Heck, Phoenix is one. So there's corridors that stuff run through. So who knows? Alfonso Gamble. There you go, Big Sergeant. I'm glad to see you here. I don't know if you're still on, but thank you for joining in. You guys, this is the big, mighty, big. We call him Top. He's one of the big sergeants that was in my unit back when I was in the Army. Served together, and thank you so much, sir, for being here. I really appreciate it. It was good to see your name. Thank you for joining in on this live. Twilight Zone land, thanks so much for being here. We smokers with or without messy living quarters deserve assistance and justice, and exactly as much as with no favoritism. Just like they had an incident. I went to my team and I went to a city council meeting in Tempe one time, right? This is not. It's not. I'm not smiling because I just remember what I was thinking at the time. We're there to go to the city council and the mayor I tried to enlist them to their help in Daniel's case, right? This before I was able to convince them to do forensics on Daniel's electronics. And 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 we was there waiting for this thing to start. I mean, you guys, it was a lot of people out there. A lot of people was out there, and I mean, they was mad. I mean, like people was mad. I mean, when I say mad, they was mad. So I started to back. I was like, man, should we even be here? Like, what's going on? I didn't know what's going on. That's the thing I know. I saw the local news channel cameras and all that. They were all lining up in the in the room in the city council meeting. But I was able to get a seat because we was there early. So make a long story short, what's going on? I mean, these people's mad. After they heard they was there till 9 o'clock at night. But what happened was a homeless guy in Tempe, Arizona. Um, I think the police were chasing him. I may get the story wrong, so forgive me, guys, if I have. But it was something similar. Like police were chasing him. Something happened. They was bothering him. Guy jumped in the water of one of the waterways they have there, and to make a long story short, the officer sat there and watched him drown. But they had a story, I think it was previously to that or something, where this dog went into the water and they saved the dog. And you know how law officers say, "Oh, we saved this dog," and they be on the social media, "Oh, we saved this bird out of a tree" or something. You know, like those big police job. "Oh, we got a cat out of a tree" or something. I don't know. Thank you for saving the animals, but human life is human life, right? And they didn't save this young man. This man, he's well-known homeless guy in the area, and they was outraged because just because he's a homeless guy, don't mean his life is not of value, right? And so that's what I think the narrative was, and that's the same thing, like you said, despite what Buckeye's putting out, for instance, about trying to make Daniel line him up as using words and saying lies about me about what I said about Daniel. Um, and it says that he has some kind of mental issue or something. So what? So what? Right now, I have a mental issue. I have a depression. My son is missing. I have things going on in my other family members' life that's very depressing. But that don't mean I go missing. You know. So the thing is, you know, those things are red herrings they use to justify their non-actions, and they're gonna put in this big report. They spread this report big and prove it. I'm gonna prove because this person said this, and this person said that, and this person said this, and this person said, for what? I mean, for what you're doing all of that for? Find my damn son. That's all I care about. Show me what you did to really find my son. Show me those actions. And you can go into. I'm going to. I went to the desert where they were trying to build up the number time. I went to the desert to try to searches. I don't know. Damn that. Damn that. Find my son. And I think a fresh set of eyes. I think the FBI. Luckily, I'm really digging into that to see if they really. Because I said it one time before and found they wasn't really in it. But I definitely want to make sure that my son's case is being handled properly, and that way I need a fresh set of eyes, and that is the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office that I'm choosing for my son's case. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep pushing it, and we're gonna get it done. Everybody, we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna get it done. We're a grassroots movement. We can do anything, and so I'm asking you guys, please continue to share, continue to advocate Daniel case being moved to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. And I'm telling you to make you help you guys understand, my son went missing in Maricopa County. I said this one time before. Had I known that anything about Arizona at the time, had I known anything about Arizona, I would have never called Buckeye Police Department because Tippy told me to call Buckeye Police Department. I would have never called them and put in a missing person report. I would have went straight to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office if I'd known who they were and how big that department is, and that can help me probably better. Because I would have chosen a logical way, which department is better fitted to help me in this situation. After I heard something from that, that was a mistake for the Buckeye Police Department taking on to my son's case when they initially denied a flight. You see that in the report. They cannot change that as well. They denied a flight that could have saved my son's life, and you know there's no excuse for that, none at all. So anyway, let's see here. I think I'm done, you guys, and I appreciate this. Somebody asked me, News Nation asked me last night, what keeps you going? Things like what J.M. McGee says keeps me going. And I told her, I said, what keeps me going is, I'm trying to think of some of the things I told, which is true. what keeps me going is, first of all, God. He's the center of my life, and I know that God has got my back, right? Because I walk by faith and not by sight. I never organized anything in my life like this, and God put these things together and had me going forward. The second thing is, you guys, I love my son dearly. I love him, and I'm a father. I grew up without a father, and I promised his older brother, Daniel's older brother, that anybody come after him, they're gonna always have a father in their life, and they do. To this day, all my children have a father in their life, and I make sure of that. And I'm a protector, regardless of what their mother or not. I'm a protector, and I'm a provider, and I'm a spiritual provider and spiritual protector for my family. And that's what men do. We're supposed to be willing to even die, lay down our life for our family. And the thing is, that's what we do as fathers, real fathers. That's the things I would love to have as a young man growing up. And the thing is, I'm telling you guys, that's one thing I promised my children. And one of the things that Daniel's definitely going to get. He's going to get somebody who's going to advocate for him when he can't speak for himself. And then I'm here. The other part is, you guys, my military training, like Mr. Gamble, you saw here, went to war together. Things we learned in the military, those warrior ethos that we learned, the values and things, things that we know and you guys know in the public, simple thing I always say, keep the mission first. My son is my mission, always never leaving fallen comrade. My son is my son. I'm not leaving behind those things. That's where strength comes from as well, you guys. So the other part is, like I said, what you said here, Jim J.M. McGee, things what you guys say in the chats, that helps out a lot. Like today, I'm working off a 1 hour sleep. I'm tired. My head feel like it's hurting, and I'm tired. And I'm gonna get some rest. It's just that to keep going, because I get stressed. I'm stressed. I'm a human being. You guys, when you say things like that, that helps. You're doing a good job. That's all I need. I need those type things, and those things definitely help. They help any family. We get weary, we get tired, and when you guys give us hope, because you're there supporting, you're doing everything you can to make that my voice louder. I can't reach out but to, if I have somebody standing from me, I'm probably gonna reach out to a few people that's just standing from me. It could be an audience, but I can reach out to a whole community if you guys share what I'm saying. So that's the type thing. So we're just working together. Other thing is things like what Nissa does here. You guys have been donating, been putting your time in, spending your gas money, your printing out flyers. Nissa constantly doing what's called uh, now super chats. You tell them tired, right? Anyway, doing this thing now. Thank you. See what I'm saying? I really appreciate it. Not stopping until we find Daniel. All our voices matter. Yes, Buckeye Police Department. We aren't going anywhere. Hope you like Mel, like you like me. Yes, we're not. We're not going anywhere. And I know you, Nissa, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. Nissa have been her and her husband have introduced themselves to me at one of the searches, and what I saw here on this channel, you see it in person. It's no difference. What I'm saying is the difference. I see this with all of you guys that have been helping here, and not because Anissa do a lot of super chats. She does a lot of super chats now. Yes, do a lot of super chats, and I'm really grateful. And I tell you, Anissa, all the time, I'm really grateful for you and your husband. But at the same time, you guys, and also like T and Wildflower as well, and also Aaron Chase. You guys, when I meet you guys, actually meet you guys have no difference for what y'all say in these tests. Sometimes people write things and you don't know the difference, because it could be anybody. But then when you meet people and they're just exactly genuine as you see in the chats, yeah, that means a lot. But thank you so much. Yes, we are not stopping this, and I believe that we're gonna keep fighting. Ryan, thanks so much for being here as well. You've been on Red Table. Yes, we have. Daniel Mother and I been on Red Table Talk with Jada Pickett Smith. And yes, that's been some time ago, and I really appreciate them for their help. Also, Amy M, again, thanks so much for being here. You should go to the Pascal show. I have been on the Pascal show in the past. And matter of fact, you must have known something I don't know, because while we were talking, I was talking earlier, and I got a text message from the Pascal show. So I think that's ironic you say that. You should go on the Pascal show. And I had got a text while I was talking on my cell phone from the Pascal show. Yeah, I've been on there before, and I will go again. I will answer his text message once I get off this live. So like I said, thank you guys and everybody who else listening and who constantly hit me up and wanted to interview. Thank you so much for help me get Daniel's story. Keep it going. Mr. John Q. Lastly, you guys, I want to keep going. I'm getting tired, you guys. I'm gonna have to get off. John Q. One of my main man, one of the guys that really been working hard. Not only and Mr. Q has been sharing Daniel's story and having me on his platform, he also been doing his own investigations as well. I think he did some other investigations with other families as well. So it's not just something he does just for I guess a show, but he does this to try to help him and other people that works alongside with him try to help solve cases as well. So it ain't just a platform just to get information out, but it's also a platform to help solve cases. So thank you, Mr. Q, for being here. We got your back, and I know you do. I truly appreciate you again, sir. Also, thank you, Esther. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I do put some of these comments that I really appreciate each and last one of y'all comment. Thank you, Esther. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Country Girl. Thanks so much. Thank you, S Navy Girl. Thanks for being here. JC Adams, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I'm trying my best. Like I say, you guys, I'm not expert, but I'm gonna keep trying to do the best I can. You guys can help me as well. You guys suggested some things you think I could do better. That helps as well. I love constructive criticism, and you guys can help me with that too as well. Also, Jennifer, thank you so much as well. Twilight Zone. I'm going kind of fast, you guys, because I really want to get much people as I can. And thank you guys for the hashtag just for Daniel. T and Wildflower. Again, person I meet, just exactly how you are. A really nice person and really willing to do a lot and a lot of work. So thank you so much, T and Wildflower, for who you are. Yes, thank you so much for that, Esther. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I'm curious, why not release everything you know? What if there's something that could help us find him? Well, it's because investigation wise, because a couple things. Well, I want to put it like this: a couple things that will probably make it problematic for some people. And when I say make it problematic, I just needed my son case put in the right place, and then I can give some things out I know more so about. But anyway, yeah, you guys over time, like I said, because of what Buckeye have put out, I can go through the report and then start telling some things that I do know. You know what I'm saying? Some little things, little small things here and there that I know I can and I can't. For instance, I have a lot of recordings, and I can't don't know legally what I can and can not do with those. So I'm being very careful with those, and I will be once I get those okays, then I can release those kind of things like that to the public. I will be doing this one thing though. I will do is I will get close to editing this last message I had from my son, 2-hour conversation, so you guys could hear Daniel from his own words. How his normal, he was out with his friends. He didn't know I know that having a drink, enjoying himself like he always do. No depression. We have a normal conversation like normal. I'm using my wordings. That's I told you the reason why I haven't released because I use colorful words. When me and him talk, we just be talking as father and son the way we do. And you will hear him describe for my first time hearing about the young lady. You can hear him describe that how he met her. And then my concern, you hear me talking about my concerns. My concerns of him, why he's spending a night sleeping with a woman he just met, right? And who is this other woman? Things like why you're there. So who you're too smart. Daniel's too smart to do something that don't understand. How you know she ain't got a husband or this or that? You'll hear me ask those kind of questions as a parent. So you hear those things as well. So it contradicts with Buckeye quickly trying to put in a report to try to bash me or so attack, I guess. That has no basis. Oh, I told him that he was in love on this date. I didn't even hear about Daniel's, about this young lady, before before he went missing. 2 days before he went missing, the first time I heard it. Those times before that, I never heard about this young lady. I didn't heard about it when they first met. Now, he told Mr. Robinson told them this. That's a lie. I never heard about this woman until 2 days before Dane went missing. The last conversation I had. So all the stuff they saying that's not true. Like I'm saying, false. I call it false records. Throw the whole report out. Because if we go to court, yeah, that's things I'll be pointing out. Also, and I have the receipts to back it up. Also, let's see here. That's right. Keep praying. Thank you, Esther. I really appreciate it. You guys. I tried to see if there was a question, but I'm going to go ahead and end it. You guys come this evening. I'll try to get some rest. I'll probably sound better. I have some little rest. I have a question here. Isn't the crash site and well out of Buckeye city limits? If it's on BLM, sheriffs should be the lead on it. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's out of city limits. I never found that out or not. I just know it's in Buckeye. They claim on Buckeye land, Buckeye side where the well is, and then jurisdiction or whatever. I was told of stuff. But BLM part, when I went out there and according to the BLM map that they gave me, one of my team members as well, his vehicle was on BLM land. Some argue, it was this much off of BLM land, or it was a few hundred feet away from BLM land. I say this right here. I say, what if I'm wrong? And it wasn't on BLM, but it was very much close proximity to federal land. The way they saying this vehicle made it into that ravine, who knows that this crime didn't cross into BLM land to get there in that ravine. So the FBI should have been in this case anyway. I went to the field office. That's why I'm glad I'm telling you guys, I wanted to make a complaint because I went to the field office to this first agent who did this case brief with Buckeye. They did it underhanded secretly behind my back. And when we went to me and Mr. Farmer went to this guy. I heard this too. I think it's a racism, but that's just me. I heard it. The reason why I call it racism, guys, because I looked at the pattern. I talked to other family members who probably had some of the same kind of incidents. We went there, and these people wouldn't even let us in the building. They have a guardhouse. And out of respect for a man who's looking for a son, I came there to ask questions, not hostile, no nothing, but they treated us like we were hostile, yelling at me, I know who you is, and this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm a grown man. Who you talking to, first of all? I didn't react, but he had 2 armed guards with him and let us in the guard shack and wouldn't even let us in the building. You know, I only brought Mr. Farmer because I was nervous of going into a federal building with FBI, and this guy yelled at Mr. Farmer, treat us like I thought they probably gonna end up shooting us or something, or get something. You know how they elevate things, and next thing you know, you hear on the news, oh, they shot, or make us stuff. Oh, Mr. Robinson probably came up here to do something to us, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. They make up some facetious stuff or something. That's law enforcement that I see sometimes. And so that made me nervous. That made me very nervous. Oh, Buckeye did a good job and blah, 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 and so on, so on. That's what he was telling us. Right? And, that was a bad experience. So like I said, I talked to the Justice Department. Guys had lunch and stuff. And that's why I think where this new FBI situation came in at, because they was looking into some things for me. And here it is. Here it is. That's something that's going on in the background you guys was unaware of. I don't just come out and just be putting it out on my lives all the time. But yeah, I've been talking with Justice Department officials and other people. We have several meetings with my team, and I don't think we just sitting here talking on Q&A and doing this and that. But we do things in the background, letters to you name it. Do all kind of stuff in the background, trying to get just for them. You guys too. That's what I'm saying. I help you guys doing things as well, and asking you guys to do things as well. Because it comes from all angles. It comes from all angles, and those things help. You guys, I just need y'all to keep going and trust the faith and keep the faith and trust the process, melt it to the madness, and keep going. Regardless of what you see in the reports or what you believe, you think you believe or know, we need to keep pushing and get Daniel's case moved out of the Buckeye Police Department and put in a department with fresh eyes that we'll get some results and find out what happened to my son and get those answers. Because what only thing we can see in this department we'll have is, oh, we've proven why we can't find no answers to your son's case. This is the reason why we can't. We did it. We tried all of it. This is the reason why we ain't gonna find nothing. No, you're gonna find something. And with the technologies we have today, I talked to many people. I don't want to put his name out, but he's doing some other things as well. You guys probably know, but doing some other things as well. They have technologies out there, face recognitions to you name it, that can help and find and aid and find missing person cases. They spend millions of dollars in this country to find people like Osama bin Laden to go kill them, and some of these other ones in these other people's countries in Pakistan and stuff. They can find these people, but they can't find Daniel Robinson in America's soil on January missing June the 23rd of 2021 in a desert ravine with one person that claimed he saw him, and he has a Uconnect in his vehicle, and he had a cell phone that was ringing for hours after he so-called been missed, because we were calling it. It didn't go straight to voicemail. It was ringing, and then eventually, of course, the battery's gonna die eventually, and then it go to voicemail. So where's the cell phone pings and this and that? It'll be more things, right? So it was no loss of service and stuff. I go out the desert all the time, all these search. I never lost service out there. So the thing is, I'm saying, you guys, it is too much inconsistencies with that story coming out of it, and they can prove, law enforcement can prove why they ain't gonna find your loved one. We did all we can do. We done. We did all we can do. No, you did not. No, you did not. There's some things that I have done that haven't yet to do, and I'm trying to figure that part out. Law enforcement. I don't hear seeing a report, and I don't hear them doing it. I'm just waiting on them to catch up a little bit. Sometimes I'm saying, yeah, when they gonna catch up with this? Then I had to give them information like mile IQ. That's where they get it from. They got it from me. I had to give them. They had the phone. Why you didn't see it then? You didn't think about looking at the mile IQ app until I mentioned it. So the point is, I'm saying, you guys, it depends. How you look at things. Unity Conference on the visual 23rd on. Thank you, Team Wildflower, putting this out. It's so sweet. I really appreciate that. Unity Candlelight, because that put me back on focus. Visual on June 23rd on this channel to commemorate and shed light on Daniel's life and story. To bring awareness of other missing person cases, guys. I'm telling you guys, this is a very big deal. It's a very big deal, not only for Daniel, it's a very big deal for other families. So please participate in this, you guys. It's simple. You're doing it from home. You're just taking a video. You ain't got to take a video. Just doing it from your heart. Just share Daniel's story, share other stories. Watch the live, watch the recording, whatever the case would be, and share these people's stories. Share the story, share Dane's stories like you always been doing. Try to get out there as many people as you can, because these families dependent. You see, Miss Nunez was on here, and she was just describing to you guys the sentiment that we have. It is hard for a family member to keep their loved one's story out there. We have to deal with emotionally things. She have her other children she have to take care of. I have my young daughter to take care of. You have other life things that goes on. This is not my life only. Just being here on the screen. This is not her life only. Just being there on a TV screen or something and telling a story. You have a ton of other things going on, just like you do, guys, every day. So you come out here, you get off this watching me. You got your life things you're doing. There's a lot of things that goes on that we all have to do, and then you add something like you have a missing loved one, and then you got to spend a lot of time with that and juggle everyday life. So I'm saying, you guys, that's why this is very important to make it easy for families to share a story. It's simple. Sometimes we don't be doing nothing. I mean, I don't know. I've been on social media sometimes. It's easy to copy paste or something. I don't know. Copy paste a story or share a story, hit the share button, and and just put the information out there. You find a story, just throw it out on your page. Somebody else can read it, and they might even take that and share it and keep passing it on. So these missing person cases need to keep going viral and get more attention, because if you can't get it through the social media, through the news media, we can get it through social media. So that's what that's what the Unity Candlelight Visual will be all about, you guys. Uniting this communities with these missing person cases. DJ Moore, Q question. Thanks so much for the question. Isn't a crash site and well out of, like I said, okay, I think I had that one, answered that one already. So thank you so much, you guys. I will see y'all on the next Q&A. Oh, not Q&A, next live. It's not Q&A anymore. See you on the next live, you guys, and this evening. So please come back, and I'll talk to you then. God bless you. Love each and every last one of you. Take care.